I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with my co-host Parker McCollum, who's about to become a dad for the very first time.
The fact that it's all going so well and God's been so good to us, and it's a boy, which is really nice. I'm just excited about it. She is too. She's over the moon.
That's Parker McCollum this week on Country Countdown USA.
Wednesday at 1 on WCSL 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, KTCBroadcasting.com.
For Easter savings, hop on into Jumpin' Jed's in Boston. Get some old-fashioned candy for Easter baskets, even freeze-dried candy. And now all Easter decor is half price. See the line of Americana merchandise, including pillows, rugs, and prints. And take 15% off Moo Cat Moo Studio Jewelry. Lots of Easter deals for you at Jumpin' Jed's, Main Street in Boston. Closed Good Friday, but open Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Like them on Facebook, too. That's Jumpin' Jed's, Main Street, Boston. Pre-owned Kias, Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus, Fords, and more. All at Renato Kia, home of the $5,000 test drive. Come in for all the details. Take a look at a 2014 Toyota Prius for $10,888. A 2019 Ford Escape is $18,360, and a 2022 Kia Sportage Nightfall, $25,388. And in the service department, get a diagnostics for $69.95 and take $10 off any fluid service, excluding an oil change. Renato Kia and Renato Honda at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
The Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers since 1946 with tree-lined fairways, ponds, creeks, and sand bunkers. Select from 4 sets of tees to play from. Give them a call at 704-735-1382. Again, 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road in Lincoln. Visit their website at golflcc.com.
You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too. Simply put, Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby is this area's truck store. And it's Truck Month at Classic Ford Lincoln. Right now, you can get up to $8,000 off all new trucks or get 1.9% APR financing for 72 months. Come in and see dealer for details. When you think of trucks, think of Classic Ford Lincoln in Shelby with over 100 trucks available. See Classic Ford Lincoln, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at ClassicFordofShelby.com.
And good morning. Welcome to another Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin, Zach, Tom, Terry, JP, and Chip. And today it's just Kevin, Chip, Terry, Tom, and JP.
You could have just easily said Zach's not here today. But however you want to go with that, JP. Good morning.
And he referred to himself in the third person.
He did.
Yeah, thank you, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
Well, I think JP likes doing that way.
Ricky gets breakfast. Ricky
be Ricky.
Ricky runs the commercials. Yeah. Ricky comes sometimes late. But Ricky is the. Oh no, where are you going?
Oh no. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't. I was making sure I could hear myself. Okay.
You're good.
All right.
You gotta.
I thought I had my hearing aid turned too loud.
Yeah, there we go.
You gotta Barry White your microphone.
How about them apples? Okay, that's me.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, March 30th. You're listening to Saturday Morning Sports Talk Shock Jock Show here on KTC Broadcasting. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Chip Carter, Terry Reinhardt, and Tom Sinofani, the worst sports experts you could ever listen to, I guess.
With Johnny Brackets in there in the production studio. Good gosh.
John Brackets Prather. That's what we're going to call it from now on. New nickname.
Yeah.
How about Brackets?
Brackets.
Anyway, good morning, everybody. We've got a big show today. Baseball, basketball, football, golf, a little NASCAR racing, and more. First, we got to thank our sponsor, McDonald's Breakfast. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Local McDonald's here in Cherryville and in our little surrounding areas here. Mr. Kuthan and the gang providing us breakfast from McDonald's. I had a sausage and egg biscuit this morning and a strawberry smoothie. Chip, what you got over there?
I am about to enjoy a sausage and egg biscuit with an apple pie with an OJ.
And I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle, which was fantastic, and 2 hash browns.
And I had a bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin and apple pie and Zach's hash brown. And I just want to say, when do we get beverage service here? Chip comes in here and he gets beverages
I know.
too.
Hey, all y'all have to do is ask, and I'll get it.
All right. Well, I don't want to put too much on you, JP. I just noticed that we got this aristocrat over here. Now he's getting martinis and stuff over here.
It's not all that, Tom. All you have to do is pick up that phone,
JP.
text JP saying, I need this, and you know what the rest of it
But I
is.
don't want to do that to him.
JP, I asked shaken, not stirred, sir.
Yeah,
What's
shake
wrong
it,
with
not
that?
stirred. Get it straight. No pulp. No
Oh,
pulp.
yeah, oh, gosh,
no
no.
pulp.
Oh, that's nasty.
No pulp.
I agree with Tom.
I agree.
That might be the only thing Tom and I agree on today, but I agree with Tom.
But it's good. You get a little extra fiber in there if you have the pulp, because your mama made you drink it.
Ugh, that is some nasty.
Say, what's wrong
I
with the
can't
pulp?
stand pulp.
I don't.
That boy's got to man up.
That's like the
pulp
original
neither.
smoothie. That's nasty. Ugh.
You got to drink the pulp, and you got to drink the milk straight out the cow. Come on. We got to step it up, boys.
Yep.
I'll step back. Thanks. You go right ahead.
Step it up, boy. Well, this weekend in NASCAR, we're going to start there.
They're racing on Easter Sunday in Martinsville.
Yeah, they can.
That surprised me though, because I was listening. Just want to remind everybody. I know we're talking about NASCAR, Kevin, so don't yell at me. But
There we go.
if you're in your car, make sure you turn on the Boss because you can listen to all the games. Doesn't matter what time it is. Like I was listening to the Duke Houston game at like 11 o'clock last night. It was like, all right, time to get my shower and go to bed and just throw on the Boss. But I heard the advertisements for it. I said, that can't be right. Martinsville's racing on Sunday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that kind of surprised. I didn't think they raced on it. I thought like Mother's Day and Easter Sunday were 2 days.
They do avoid Mother's Day. I think they might even avoid Father's Day too in the past. But yeah, I'm with you, Tom. That surprises me.
That is surprised that they are. But they keep saying, the Commonwealth of Virginia will host short track racing. And, they got Martinsville. And I think they got Richmond next weekend, Kevin.
Richmond this weekend.
It's Martinsville. It's Martinsville this weekend, isn't it?
Richmond is this weekend.
Richmond's this weekend.
Yes.
I think any state that refers to itself as a Commonwealth, NASCAR should boycott.
Yeah, I know.
No Pocono, no Martinsville, no Richmond.
Of course, they've had all these advertisements, too, to visit Charlottesville. That's your next. Could you imagine telling your kids that? Are we going to the beach? No, we're going to Charlottesville.
Let's go to Charlottesville. Come on.
We're going to go to Thomas Jefferson's house.
We don't know where you
Monticello, baby.
Last 2 weeks, Bristol, Denny Hamlin wins, and this past week, Circuit of America's William Byron wins on the road race. This week, they'll head up to Richmond, and then next week, Martinsville. So Virginia is for lovers the next 2 weeks, Tommy.
Yeah, it is.
So this week will be a kind of a rounder track, oval type, tri-oval type, but Martinsville, the hairpin,
The paperclip.
the paperclip. Now, for you Martinsville and NASCAR race car fans, we are going to have a giveaway today. We're going to give away 2 tickets to all 3 races in Martinsville next weekend. That's Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series races. Stay tuned. The number's going to be 704-435-2845, and you're going to tell JP something special. We're going to let y'all know. I'll give you the questions here in just a few minutes after we go over talk some NASCAR news and notes. But stay tuned for just a minute. We're going to give away Martinsville tickets if you can go only in all 3 races. Don't call just because you like to win things, Terry.
What? The heck my name come out in
Some people like you will just call win a contest, but I can't go. Y'all give them somebody else. Terry, is that not what you do? I thought that was you. There's somebody that does that.
I actually thought about that. I was like, I'd like to call in. I can't go next weekend, but I'd like to call in.
Anyway, we're going to give that away here in just a minute. This week in Richmond, Sunday, March 31st, 7 o'clock, Saturday night, our first Saturday night race this year. So the countdown is to tonight, Owners 400 at Richmond Raceway. It looks like last night, Justin Bonzignor, if I said that right, won the Truck Series race. I'm sorry I jumped into that name without reading it first. How would you say that, Chip?
Bonsignor.
There you go.
Or Bonsignori.
Tom, is that Italian?
He kind of butchered that pretty good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But we do have an Italian exchange student who tells me that I mispronounce the Italian words all the time, Chip. So don't feel bad. Because I'll tell her. I don't know. There's a game that my dad used to say is bocce ball, and I was like, "Do you play that?" And evidently, I'm saying that incorrectly because I showed her on Google. I said, "This is it." Oh, yes. I was like, "Well, why didn't you understand it?" You're not saying it correctly. I'm like, okay. So I'm not going to criticize him for butchering it when I can't say it either.
That's amore. Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
right,
there you go.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. Our Italian girl does do this. It's so funny, man. She does this right there. I was like, so the real Italians really do that.
That's the. There's a comedian that talks about that. It's like Italians. They always have to use. They always emphasize it.
But
Al dente.
This would.
Rigatoni.
It's like
no other country does that. You imagine an Irish person. What are you having for dinner? Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, it's just too. It's just too stereotypical. I can't do that. It's just too. But don't worry about it, Chip. We're not gonna. None of our listeners know how to say that word either, so you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Terry, he just comes in and insulting the listeners.
I'm not even saying a word.
The funniest thing, Chip, you weren't here. We all had these random cards, and like we had there's players from the '90s, and there was Jose De Leon.
Yeah.
Terry had that one. He said, "I got Williams, Smith, De Leon."
I'm surprised it wasn't DeLine. DeLine.
I still randomly think about that and just start busting out laughing. I'll just start laughing. De Leon. Spanish with Terry. I just want to know. Terry, do you ever step in when the Spanish teacher's out and sub lesson? I just want to see that. Mr. Reinhardt. Senor Reinhardt. I just would love to be a little fly on the wall in Senor Ryan's Spanish class. Not doing that lately, Terry? I haven't done that lately.
He's focused right now.
He is. He's locked in.
Real quick, I'm gonna pull a Tom here. You know how we were talking about how to pronounce Duquesne last week at the place I visited? I was next to a couple of people, and during the state game, and they said. The one lady goes, "How do you say that?" And I was just listening, and it was nothing but comedy from the 3 seats beside me discussing how in the world to say that. And I had to interrupt him at some point in time. He's like, "It's Duquesne."
Well,
and the girl goes, "Wait a minute." The funniest part, girls, Terry, the one that was mispronouncing it, she was an NC State grad.
They don't have French at NC State. They don't do those sissy languages at NC State.
Well, since we talked about that last week, you said that pronouncing. I was like, well, that's funny that we talked about that.
No, I mean, it was that before the French and Indian War. And the funny thing is, we were in with a bunch of history teachers and reading about that. And then one history teacher read it out and said, yeah, in a battle at Fort Duquesne. I'm like, oh my God, you teach
well done
history.
It's awesome.
You teach history. I mean, even most history teachers can say it's not really Detroit, it's Detroit.
I was in a.
And like history teachers sort of kind of know that.
I was in a history course in Gardner Webb, and one of the students in the class referred to researching archives. Archives.
I mean, everybody does it, but it's just like Americans' knowledge of French is pretty bad.
Xfinity Series qualifying is at 9:05 this morning.
Why is my picture up there?
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Okay.
Tom was missing there for quite a while.
We lost you for a minute.
You lost me. That's from last February when I went out to the Nixon Library.
That's from the Chinese spy balloon.
Yeah.
At 10:30, NASCAR practice, 11:15 is qualifying. The Toyota Care 250 Xfinity Series today is at 1:30. And then, is that right?
So the race is Saturday. It's actually tomorrow. It looks like it's tomorrow. It's the 31st.
Yes,
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's that Saturday on Sunday.
I thought at first it was a Saturday night race.
On Sunday.
It's Sunday, 7 o'clock in Richmond, Easter Sunday. Toyota owners 400. Well, that allows them to have Easter Sunday morning.
Okay, I bet that's why they did move it back.
Do their stuff and everything with the kids in the mornings and everything at the track. And
Jesus will be back from the dead by 7 p.m. They figure they can go ahead and run it.
Richmond's usually been on Saturday.
Go to the church services and everything else. Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Terry, any favorites in this one for you?
Kyle Busch.
I just don't know why I asked.
Excellent.
How'd he do last week?
Ninth, after he and Christopher Bell had a little discussion, but I'm telling you, I saw one little young man who was scared to death.
Terry.
Kyle Busch was all over him.
Nobody's
and,
scared of Kyle Busch.
Oh yeah, he was. Christopher Bell, that's his part owner, buddy. He understands all that.
Okay, well, I was talking.
Yeah,
The owner's talking to you.
buddy.
You gonna talk back to
Yes,
him?
sir. He wasn't no if, and, or buts, or I'm speaking in between your
Well,
talking.
Kyle Busch can't drive is why he got wrecked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly why he got wrecked. You know it too. This is a terrible. He took that corner. Hey Terry, that's the worst angle at that corner he could have took. And got.
He probably did. I agree with that. I'm not going to say it, but I mean,
He didn't
you
expect
think you're
Bell.
all man, but
He
first
just
thing he
didn't
asked
expect
him,
Bell to
he
challenge.
asked Christopher Bell, he says, "This is the second time in 3 years you've done this to me."
3 years, God forbid.
You know, he says, "Have I ever wrecked you?" And Christopher Bell said, "No." He goes, "That's all I want to know."
He just takes everything too personal.
Well, I mean, if Christopher Bell gets knocked out, then, hey, buddy, sorry.
From what I've seen in the past few years, like with no dominant person like Jimmy or Dale or Gordon or somebody like that, they're all just like going in there and like what you say, Terry, somebody's right or wrong, and nobody cares until after the race.
Yeah.
And they're all just driving in there, and we'll figure it out afterwards, as opposed to kind of doing it the right way or the old way.
I mean,
There's
I
no
thought Kyle
sheriff
Busch
on the
did
on the track.
I mean, he come back and he finished ninth. He could have, been in the top three. I don't know whether he could have won it, but
Well, standings right now, Truex is in first, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, and Tyler Reddick are your top 10. Now, JP, I need you to come in here and write this, or I better write it down, because, you never know what happens with him. We're going to go for our trivia question today to give away 2 tickets to Martinsville next weekend. Oops, let's go and get this right. The question is, now you're going to call in at 704-435-2845. And JP's going to answer. He's going to say KTC Broadcasting. You're going to say, I'm calling in about the NASCAR giveaway. And he's going to say, what's your answer? You're going to tell him. He's going to say thank you. And he needs your email address. Okay? If you're the winner, you'll get your email address. So the first person that can call 704-435-2845 and tell JP what comes on a Martinsville hot dog will win 2 tickets to Nextville's races, to Xfinity, truck races, and next cup race in Martinsville. So 2 tickets to all 3 races. What comes on a Martinsville hot dog? We'll be back in a few minutes.
That's a good hot dog.
KTCBroadcasting.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Trouble off of turn 2, 1 car is in a spin, lots of white smoke.
Begins a 2-week short track racing swing in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Fast and furious up the front, Denny Hamlin gets loose.
Under the lights on Easter Sunday at Richmond Raceway.
Dominant afternoon for Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas. A dominant final stage for Christopher Bell.
It's the Toyota Owners 400.
Sunday night at 6 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. Spring is sprung at Campers Inn RV in Kings Mountain. And there's nothing but fun and adventure lying ahead with a new RV from Campers Inn. See our beautiful land with your dream RV from Campers Inn. Now's the perfect time to turn your RV dreams into reality. But these great deals won't last long. Discover the freedom of the open road today with the new RV from Campers Inn RV. Kings Mountain, Highway 161 South at I-85 at 615 Broadview Drive. Online at campersin.com/Kings-Mountain. See Campers Inn today. Pre-owned Kias, Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus, Fords, and more. All at Renato Kia, home of the $5,000 test drive. Come in for all the details. Take a look at a 2014 Toyota Prius for $10,888. A 2019 Ford Escape is $18,360, and a 2022 Kia Sportage Nightfall $25,388. And in the service department, get a diagnostic for $69.95 and take $10 off any fluid service, excluding an oil change. Renato Kia and Renato Honda at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
Folding a fitted sheet, programming the thermostat, matching your socks. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
Your auto insurance agencies are Mooney Insurance Agency in Maiden and East Lincoln Insurance Agency in Denver. Now you can see what's going on by calling Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Ask about the rigid camera system. You, the customer, can actually see what's going on with your sewage drain lines and what's got to be done. And be sure to ask about their tankless water heaters, serviced or installed. And here's a cold weather tip. Let both your cold and hot water faucets drip just a little during the cold winter months. Also, be sure to open your cabinets so your home heat will help keep that water running. Call 704-634-5784 for Heath Jackson Plumbing in Cherryville. Like them on Facebook, too. Tune in for Down Home with Milton Baker, Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KDCBroadcasting.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They're going to be talking some more sports right now.
I have no idea. Some asshat. Oh, back to the broadcast. KTC broadcast. Chip. Talking about Kyle Busch over here. Hey, NCAA tournament time. Terry, how about them Wolfpack? You want to start there? I know you're on the edge of the seat. You've got your biscuit in your belly. And the Wolfpack keep marching on. And they win last night. And I'll just give the floor to you for a minute.
Well, give the floor to me. You know what? We still 3 more to go. And that's how I keep looking at it.
Not based on your bracket.
State, you know? I mean.
You got 1 more to go.
What?
He has State losing in his bracket if you don't get
That's
the reference.
what I'm saying.
He's got the Wolfpack fans got Carolina winning it all and State losing in the Final Four to
After they beat who in their
Texas is.
After they beat who in their bracket, like,
Carolina and Duke,
Marquette.
Did you remember him saying, Terry, this is your floor?
I did.
Yeah, he did say that.
Oh, that's what I thought
go
he
ahead.
said.
Go ahead.
I was wondering.
Your turn.
But you know, and we go on. I was listening to a guy, and I'm just going to call his name out, David Glenn. He's a broadcaster, but I listened to him this past week, and I thought, there's no way State can beat Marquette. He gave them so much credit. And I understand the guy, I guess, but he gave Marquette so much credit that State shouldn't be in this thing. They're going to shoot better. They're going to do this better. They're going to have bigger people do this. you know what? State got out, and State never let Marquette come back.
And if I could say one thing, Terry, Marquette at one time was 3 of 24 from 3-point.
Yeah.
They were
You got to hit it.
They were 0 of 9, then they were 1 of 11, then they were
kept
3
shooting.
of 24.
I mean,
that's a 2 seed? Get out of here.
Yeah, but it is one of the best shooting teams in the country.
You live by the 3, you die by the 3.
On the season, they're 36%, but in that Big East, I don't know. I have to look at it and see who they're playing, how teams defend and all that. But I'm just telling you. I saw them also 3 straight possessions turn the ball over. They, like we talked about, Terry, they get fouled at the end of the first half and miss 3 free throws. It's horrible. I'm sorry, Terry.
Yeah, Terry, this is you say what you need to say, but I believe everybody in here's talked but me so far. But anyway.
That probably improves our rating.
I mean, no,
Zach wants to call in and talk real quick.
No, it's not a problem. But as far as State, I keep sitting back and we go on to the next game, because, if we get beaten now, people say, okay, you made the final 8. Congratulations. And I like what State's got on the shirts. Why not us? Because I don't think anybody else in this tournament, and we keep throwing up, but that's like last night when Duke was playing Houston. And I hate it for Carolina fans because I was pulling for Carolina Thursday night. I was. And some people say, well, what? And I said, yeah, back in my younger days, I'd have never done that. But I'm so tired of hearing the ACC get put down every basketball season. I'm going to tell you what, I don't care who you are, where you come from, ACC has the best basketball in the country.
They're certainly proving it this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't care whether you're from the Big Ten, Big East, whatever conference, the Mountain West they gave 6 teams to get in this thing. You have no better basketball than the ACC does year in, year out.
The Mountain West had 6?
Yeah, they had 6 teams.
That's pathetic.
Well, and to go back and touch on something we talked about last week, and I wish Zach was here to. Maybe Kevin will back me up on this, but the conversation, because the next matchup for State obviously is Duke, and talking about our conversation that Tom and I had last week about rivals. I can tell you one thing, and I think Kevin would agree with me on this. Come tomorrow night, and I'm pretty sure Zach would agree with me on this if he was here. We're all Wolfpack fans tomorrow night.
I thought about that.
I do not. I mean, yes.
There is not a single Tar Heel fan in the state of North Carolina or wherever else that will pull for Duke over NC State.
That's exactly right.
I talked to a Carolina fan the other day, and I said, I hope your Heels do good tonight. And he goes, well, Terry, I appreciate that. And I said, no, I'm pulling for the ACC. And he says, first thing come out of his mouth, well, I'm pulling for everybody but Duke.
Yes, I was.
I'll put it this way. As a Carolina fan, you would say, I would 100% rather have NC State at the top of college basketball along with North Carolina than Duke.
Yes.
It would be 100% better for us and then the state and everybody else if NC State would get back to where they were, and if we do move conferences, you can just wave goodbye to Duke. They do whatever they want. They can go to the Big East and play with everybody else that don't have football.
And you're speaking of State, they've made it this far, and then people say, well, they can't beat Duke again. I'm like, we already beat you one time. Yeah. And then in the regular season, we had just a collapse in the second half, and Duke run away from us. So State knows they have to play good.
I would argue y'all are an entirely different team.
I'm going to tell you, and that's what a lot of people say, and they keep asking me, and I'm going to say, I'll tell you what other guys would you want to be? Mike O'Connell, you got Horn, then you go over to Morsells, then you got Taylor coming off the bench. We got 4 guards who can match up and play with anybody that's out there.
And one thing I thought about too, and this is getting ahead of ourselves, Terry, but if they take care of business Sunday night, and let's assume, and I'm going to go this route because this is who I picked to win it all. If Purdue goes to the Final Four, State's got somebody that can match up with Edney. I mean, that's and Purdue. If one thing that Purdue has proven, they're not just Edney this year. They're much more well-rounded. He has a much better supporting cast, which is part of the reason I was willing to pick them.
And State's 3 big men underneath are playing just weighing a butt. Now everybody always says Burns, but Middleton and Diarra are playing as good as anybody. I mean, Diarra almost had 10 rebounds at halftime. Yesterday.
He's a guy from France, right? Is he the one from France?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I can't pronounce his name.
All right. Well, real quick, Terry, we got a special caller that wants to speak with you.
I always like special callers.
You like well, you might not like the special caller.
Well, you know, me and him might have a little bickering, and we can always cut him off.
Well,
I wouldn't do that to
I'm going
him,
to let
though.
the special caller introduce themselves to Terry. They're going to talk a little Wolfpack basketball. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Terry, this is Dennis.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey,
the Reverend.
mark the tape. This is going to be good for you. Terry, I have heard you be abused by all these gentlemen for the last so many weeks since the tournament started. You know I'm a Carolina fan, but I wanted to call and give you your due. I am pulling for NC State in this tournament. They have had a fantastic series of games here in the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. They're playing fantastic, Terry. As you know, the Tar Heels got beat. They're not in it. But if you look at the ACC as a whole, we still have Clemson. They have a game today, and we have, of course, Duke and NC State have made it to the next round. So I'm going to, as much as it pains me, Terry, I'm going to admit you were right, and I am going to pull for your Wolf Pack to win it all.
Well, I'm glad for that, but you know it's really scary when you get all them Tar Heel fans always jump on your back now. You know,
No, Terry, I'm not jumping on your back. What I'm doing is I'm offering you, as a fellow broadcaster, support for your team, which you have stuck by through thick and thin this year. You know, losing those last 4 games before the ACC tournament and then going on to achieve the success that you are now. It's well-deserved, and I was just calling, Terry, to compliment you on your loyalty to the Wolf Pack.
Dennis, though, when Terry says, I'm worried about you jumping on my back, he means he's worried about you having his back. That's what he meant. So he gets a little confused with these sayings. So jumping on the back, no, Terry, he has your back. That's what he means. Okay?
I tell you what, Dennis,
he means all these Carolina fans are pulling for you.
Yeah, one of the big things about this is I guess Keats is the guy, because when he lost them last 4, I was even in here saying, you know, I did not
fire
think,
Keats, just like everybody, every other
well, I mean, that's
fire
how it
Keats,
was,
right? Fire,
because
fire.
they kept saying, you know, he could never get by round 1, and now look what he's done with this team. Look what he done in the ACC tournament. You know, he's probably, he's got the 2-year extension, and you know, and that's just like me. I know when I sent out the other day, we were talking about coaches, and Dennis, you know as much as I do, it's tough to be a coach now. If you are not successful, and that's what's wrong with Calipari, people don't understand this. You can bring in all the freshmen you want, but if you don't go get some transfers, some juniors and some seniors from somewhere else or these little colleges and have them come to your college, you're not going to succeed, because it's not going to happen. And that's what's in this tournament. When they showed the last night when State and Marquette was playing, the Marquette had a lot of seniors and juniors on that squad.
Well, and
you know.
to your point too, Terry and Dennis, I think you'd agree with this, and Tom's touched on this. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Like the Calipari example that you gave, you can bring in all the freshmen you want to, and you can they can be whatever ranking on the McDonald's All-American list, and they can play in that game and whatnot. They can have all the talent in the world. If those guys, if you've got a bunch of AAU stars who have been used to basically give me the ball and everybody else go away when I'm on offense, when I'm playing in high school, you try to put them together. If they don't gel, all the talent in the world is not going to get that team to operate together.
Well, Terry, I'll give you Exhibit A, as much as it hurts me. The kid from Alabama that had such a great night the other night from North Dakota State. Nobody had heard of this kid till he transfers to Alabama. When you get the opportunity on the big stage in the big dance and you do like he did and you take advantage of it, that kid just played out of his mind. I don't know if he'll ever have another game like that. But the point is what Chip's saying, to win today, you can't just have a bunch of diaper dandies. you've got to have some kids that's got experience. And quite frankly, that's why Carolina had a pretty good year. Maycott, 5th year, Davis, a senior, if you will, who could come back. And so the maturity that you're looking for, the kids that came in and transferred to Carolina was the difference this year, and them being the ACC champions and being last year not even making the tournament.
Yeah, and it goes all back to that's one of the reasons that Coach K, Roy Williams, some of them got out of this because the whole playing field is different, and you've got to go after everybody, not just freshmen no more.
The game's
that's
changing.
not going to happen.
The game's changing.
Well, not only, Chip, do you have to recruit players like we used to back in the old days when I was out on the recruiting trail. You've got to recruit that player, and you've got to bring him in. But you've got to recruit your team, the players that you've already got, because they can say, I'm one and done. Used to, they had to go sit out somewhere, and it wasn't as tempting. But right now, when you can transfer the kid from state that was at Clemson last year, he's playing. He's starting this year, or not starting, but he's playing as a grade 6 man. That's the difference. You have to hold on to those players once that you get them.
We made a player swap.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we done. We
well, I think you did okay, and Clemson seems to be doing pretty good too.
So our player swap did pretty good this year.
Well, we're seeing it. I mean, I see it on the local level, Dennis, with Gardner Webb. I've talked about for years the level that Gardner Webb is, a lower mid-major school. The coaches have always viewed anybody that comes to Gardner Webb, or most anybody that comes to Gardner Webb for a major sport as a head coach. We're going to be a feeder school for other schools. No coach is looking to settle at Gardner Webb. They're using that as a stepping stool. Trey Lamb, our football coach last year, won 2 conference championships. He's gone on to ETSU. Tim Kraft, our basketball coach. Now, Tim stayed a lot longer than I thought than most people would.
11 years.
He was there 11 years now. He's at Western. So Alex Simmons, our women's basketball coach, led our team to undefeated conference record last year. Led them to to the women's second NCAA tournament,
Memphis.
And she went to Memphis. Now with NIL and with the transfer portal, the players have the exact same opportunities in terms of they don't have to be loyal to the school. They're going to use these opportunities as feeder chances to move up and make themselves more marketable at more, I guess, prestigious programs.
Well, I'm not trying to insult Terry, but DJ Burns, he started at Tennessee and didn't fit in the program, transferred to Winthrop, where he used to go to summer basketball camps. And he seems to be doing pretty good, having transferred to NC State. It's a brighter picture for him. Look at him now. He's the darling of the NCAA tournament, and he's doing much more in the way of publicity and NIL and things of that nature. I mean, the guy owns a couple of vending machines. He's got a bigger deal than that going on right now.
Yeah, he does. Well, Dennis, I appreciate you, buddy.
Well, Terry, I just wanted to be a man, man up and tell you that even though this year you've been picked on a little bit with State and the State fans have been picked on, you guys came through in the clutch. And as a Carolina fan, as much as it hurts me, you guys deserve it.
Thank you.
Bye.
I would just like for the record to state that entire conversation, Mr. Davis didn't mention Crest High School one time.
Yes,
that's right.
We're proud of you, Dennis.
Well done, sir. Well done.
But I will say this.
But yeah, we love you, Dennis.
I will say this. It is really, to me, unbelievable the number of Carolina fans pulling for State. I mean, this is just.
Well, let's reverse it for a sec, Terry. Last year, Final Four. How many State fans were going, go Duke?
To be honest, and this is my opinion because I don't know who was pulling for who last year. But, again, in my younger days, I'd have never pulled for Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But now I do, just on account of how the committee and everybody does the ACC. I pull for every one of them now.
I'm talking about Carolina Duke last year in the Final
That's
Four.
what I'm saying.
Who was State fans pulling for?
I was pulling for both of them. I didn't care. Really? I did not care.
You mean 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, because, my whole deal was
What does that even mean you were pulling for both of them?
I was, because I was
so every time a basket went in, you just was like,
yeah. I mean, what did I gain or lose out of that?
I want to offer a.
I mean, think of
it. I understand this is interesting for Tom to watch.
No matter the bad call, Terry yelled at the TV.
If it was Clemson, if Carolina would have won and it'd have been Clemson, I mean, here's what I tell the committee again. You're 2 points of 1-3 away from having 4 ACC teams in the final 8.
Well, Tom, the point I was trying to make is nobody voluntarily pulls for Duke unless you're jackwagon. So for you Duke fans out there, I mean, because the big argument, everybody's like, "Well, nobody went to Duke that actually pulls for Duke." And they have fussed.
But I want to.
Well, I think it's different now since Coach K's not there.
Well, that's what I want to say. That's another thing is that like I don't like when I was talking about the Caleb Love stuff. Is that would have meant more to me this year than if they beat John Shire and whoever it was the Coach K. But again, it's still Duke. Most people, if you're not a Duke fan in North Carolina. So if you're a New Jersey Duke fan and everyone else doesn't like you, but if Carolina or NC State's in the tournament, there will people be pulling for you. But I don't see more than 50 people like Terry sitting in the living room pulling for both teams going, go Duke. Go
well,
Duke.
This is my thing. So some people might say it's interesting you brought up nobody who these people pull for Duke didn't go there. I'll say this, like if you're a kid in Ohio, you pull for Ohio State. Ohio State represents the state. I think North Carolina and North Carolina State, it's different here because you have these teams that represent the
interstate
state.
rivalries.
I'm sorry, Duke fans. Duke does not represent the state of North Carolina.
No,
like
North Carolina
NC State
does.
or UNC, even if you didn't go there, just like my brother's wife loves UNC, but she's been a Carolina girl her whole life. She's lived in North Carolina. She's born in North Carolina, raised in North Carolina. So I give those a pass. Duke, I'm sorry. Duke is not representative of the state of North Carolina. They were just good in the 90s. That's when they got all their fans. In the 80s, when I was in middle school, nobody liked Duke. It was State or Carolina. Yeah. It wasn't until the 90s that, you got all these Duke fans. It's been like the last 30 years.
They also didn't recruit kids from North Carolina.
Right. Well,
well,
the one year, remember when McGuire was the coach at Chapel Hill, and he recruited all those New York City boys to play there. So Carolina's done it, but it's been a long time.
That was 70 years ago.
Yeah, no, your history though, Kevin. Before you say something like that, you got to know your history. You got to know your history. You got to know your history. You got to know your history before you say something like that.
I want to flip the equation real quick on Tom, see if he would relate to this a little bit, and he might throw this out. But okay. Let's say that this Elite 8 matchup, instead of it being Duke versus State, let's say it was Michigan versus Michigan State. You can't tell me you wouldn't be rooting for Michigan State in that game.
I just wouldn't watch.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. It's not. I'm not going to sit. If Michigan plays a game, I do not watch. That's what kind of fan I am.
What?
If you tell me Michigan's on, I don't watch. I hate Michigan. I'm not watching Michigan.
But that's not my question.
It's just so hard to put a comparison because Duke is not a state school.
Right. Correct.
And there you can't. Can you name another school in the country that's like Duke? That's not a state school. That kind of everybody that plays for them don't come from the state. All their fans are from New Jersey.
Notre Dame.
Like it's is that
same thing?
Is that where we're at with?
Well, Notre Dame's a little different because you got the Catholic thing. Like a lot of people pull for Notre Dame because they were Catholics, so it's a little different.
I had to sign a form when I could. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm kind of the guy.
Joking.
I'm kind of the guy who was.
That's
raised,
a joke.
I raised a Catholic, but I hate Notre Dame. It's just kind of weird. I just don't like Notre
Dame. For all the people down south that think that because I'm Catholic I'm a part of a cult. That's a lie. We don't have to sign anything to root for Notre Dame.
Okay. There's this disclaimer. Okay, so there's this disclaimer. But I just didn't care for their fans. And it's like I used to kind of pull for Carolina until I went to college and met some of the people that went there. And they looked down their nose at you, so I just don't pull for Carolina anymore either. I don't really pull against them. But I don't the state schools represent the state. So if you're from the state, you pull for that school.
Well, Tom, the big argument or talk this is kind of why I buzz you a little bit on as far as, being an Ohio State fan is that to me, once I went to a different school, I'm not your fan no more. You don't want me in your school.
Yeah.
I'm not going to your school. Yeah. Like it's basically like to me like I went to App, we won national championships, this and that, whatever. The thing is that me pulling for Carolina is like me having it's still worrying about my high school girlfriend, as opposed to my wife, who's Appalachian.
Yes, that's a really good comparison.
And so when people, they used to be an argument, you'd sit in Appalachian, half the people in your class are wearing Tar Heel shirts or Duke shirts. You're like,
yeah, but I guess
what are y'all doing? Well,
you can still get off.
That's the I'm too good to be an Appalachian. I'm going to wear my Carolina shirt because I think I should do that.
Yeah. So if I went
that stuff aggravates me. If you got your degree from somewhere and that's where you went, that's who you should go for. You're a Charlotte fan.
So if I'm
Ohio State.
So if I'm a Ohio State fan or whatever, so you're equating like I'm married to a woman, but I'm still liking the pictures of my high school girlfriend.
Right. That's your childhood. That's your childhood sweetheart is Ohio State.
The problem with that is when you guys got a short memory. When I went to Charlotte, there was no football team. So so there was no football team at Charlotte.
Ohio State was your football team.
Ohio State was my football team.
I respect that.
And when I was like, well, Kevin doesn't understand because he wasn't raised in Ohio. You know, if Trent Marty went to Kent State, he's an Ohio State fan.
The same comparison as the Tar Heels.
This is what
it's exactly what the Tar Heels. Same exact comparison, Tom. I'm sure there's tons of people at Youngstown State wearing Ohio State shirts.
Probably.
Akron, everybody in Akron's wearing Ohio State Buckeye shirts. It's the same thing. It's just aggravating.
Well,
my point is that
you should pull for the school you went to, which I get it.
And they don't want you. That school did not want you, and you're still buying their T-shirts.
But I didn't apply.
Like,
I did not apply to Ohio State.
No. Well, I'm gonna print out pictures of Chuck on my wall. I'm still love Chuck.
Dude,
he don't want me.
I didn't apply to Ohio State.
I know you didn't. I'm just saying in general. If that a lot of people, the Duke fans.
Yeah, well, Duke's a little different.
I'll echo what Kevin's saying too, because I was more of a Carolina fan as a kid and in high school than I was a Yankees fan. I was more of a diehard Tar Heel fan. But then when I started going to Gardner-Webb, again, it's still the passion is there, the childhood interest, and that's who I rooted for when I was a kid. But it definitely mellowed. So, and then I was just stuck being a Yankees fan for a team that can't win.
For you, Coach, because you work for Gardner-Webb.
He went there.
Yeah, I know he went there, but he works. He's talking about why is Carolina.
Well, even before that, though. Yeah. I mean, I've only been full time there for 3 months. So, but
but you've been in the area. It's a little different. You've been in the area. You've worked for the team. You know the coaches.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little different in that case.
I think one of the big points we're just all trying to make is that Terry. I don't think anybody's going to sit there that's not a Duke fan and say I'm pulling for them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just.
That's just weird. Nobody does that.
I looked on my phone.
Said some girls like I like blue.
State is a 6.5 point underdog in this game, even though they've already beat them. They're a 6.5 point underdog.
Where's the 6 point underdog against Marquette?
How many times? How many times y'all played Duke this year?
6.5. They split
twice. Yeah. Well, they beat us in the regular season, then we beat them in the
tournament. You only played them once in the regular season?
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to come down. My father never watches basketball. I went over to his house last week. He goes, "What do you want to watch?" I said, "Well, the game's on. We're watching some Ronald Reagan special or something." And Dad's like, "You want to watch?" I said, "Well, put the game on, Dad." So he puts the game on, and all of a sudden, like, he just like saw my dad just like he's just watching it. Like, I was rare. I figured he was going to take a nap, but he's just watching it. And he was saying some words I can't repeat, but he was saying, basically, do they ever miss? I'm like, Dad, if Duke is hitting their threes, you ain't going to beat them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you, if they're hitting their threes, he goes, well, they've hit, blank threes in a row. I'm like, yep. I said, Dad, that's what they do. They shoot threes. That's all they do. I said, if they hit their threes. Now, I think if they hit their threes against State, they're going to win. But, Terry, made a good point. State's defense on the three. Now, I watched the Marquette game. They had open looks.
Yeah, but they had quick open looks. There's a difference. When you go
Terry,
into your spot,
they had some open.
I know,
looks.
but when you're going to your spot and you're having to fire right off as soon as you get it, that's not open looks. That means defense is coming quick.
But they weren't all like that, Terry. I'm telling you, they had a plenty of good open looks that they missed, and they interviewed their coach. He's like, "Well, we've got some good looks. We're going to shoot him in." And then he was 3 for 24 for 3. I don't know what they finished, but I was like late in the game, 3 of 24. And I will say, Terry, it's not an accident. I will say this: in the half-court defense, you couldn't breathe against that State man-to-man. I mean, they were guarding them, Terry. They were guarding them 5 steps beyond the three-pointer.
The ones that we messed up on was when we would come off of the pick and go behind, and then they would have wide-open shots.
Right. Because
you got to get through it.
You would think if you got that tight, if you get that tight away from the basket, somebody's going to be open on the screen and roll. But I mean, it just
They
didn't.
was
Never,
the pick.
yeah, it just never happened.
When Marquette was making their run, there was a pick made by Middleton about floored the guy from Marquette.
Did they call a foul?
No, he run into him. Middleton never moved.
You know what? Because I stepped away and I came back and they showed the replay of that.
And Horn just stood there and lit up a three as soon as that shot was made.
People don't realize how big Middleton is, though. He's like 6'10". He's
yeah.
big. He's big. But you. Now, Terry, you saw the replay.
And he's solid.
No, you saw the replay. Now, Middleton leaned in a little bit on that screen. Now he went
I think every player leans a little.
Oh, gosh. Now, you
I'm
watch
sorry.
that, and the announcer goes, well, it looks like they need Middleton out on the football field.
You know.
I couldn't believe they didn't call that one. And the other one, did you see where Burns took an elbow and floored the guy?
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
That guy fouled him.
But they came back and
What'd they
changed
do?
it. That
Yeah.
was such BS. I mean, Burns went like, like club fight Saturday night. Boom! Just took him and nailed him. That had to be a flagrant foul. I don't care if he got fouled.
I can tell Tom's not pulling for state. When you bring up stuff like
I
this,
don't
he's
pull
not
for
pulling
the
for state.
ACC, Terry.
I know, and we like that.
I don't pull for the ACC, but I'm not a bandwagon
Because
fan.
you get tired of us coming in here every week saying how they put the ACC down.
I get tired.
You know what? Take
I
your
get tired
Big
of
Ten,
everything you say
take your
on this
Big
show.
Ten and run up Highway 150.
I will say that. I will say this. I was complaining to my wife and daughter. I said I don't want to go to work tomorrow because I'm going to have to listen to this ACC crap for 30 minutes, and we all.
I'm not doing this. You're doing it.
No, but I'm just saying.
You're doing it.
No. I'm just saying. I want to make 2 points. Marquette missed their open looks. And number 2, State got away with a few things last night.
We got away with a few
Burns
things.
should have been given a flagrant foul. Flagrant.
No.
Terry.
No.
Show the clip, Kevin.
I'm trying. I just
There's
can't find
no
it.
Show
way.
the clip. Burns
He got
throws
fouled.
elbow in that game. I mean, that was Draymond Green style. I mean, they should have threw him out of the game.
Oh, my God.
They should have threw him out of the game, Terry.
You two are so cute together.
No, I'm just saying. Chip that line's getting old, man. Come up with a new line. He said that like 3-4 times ago. But I'm just saying.
It's your motto.
I'm just saying that State got away with a couple last night, and they got away, and then Marquette threw a few away. But Marquette was as bad as they played. We're still in it at the end, Terry. So I'm just telling you, y'all better bring your A game to Duke.
We're not going to beat you by a ton. We're not going to do that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
If we're going to win, ours is 6. If we can stay up by 10 and then you lower it to 6 or 5 and then we run it back to 10, that's what Marquette did. And then Middleton sets that screen and the Horn hits a 3, puts us back up by 9.
Which should have been a foul.
I mean, that's what
Should've been a
State
foul.
goes with.
Should have been a foul on Middleton.
Because you know what the other teams had to worry about is when we come down to court, you have to guard everybody. It's not one guy. If you're going to leave Diarra wide open, then guess what? That guy, he's going to score too.
If you can't think of the names, Terry, it's O'Connell can hit a 3. O'Connell. Burns, of course, can hit a 3. And then if you play too high on them.
I'm talking about Diarra, the guy that plays underneath for us.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't remember their names, but it's okay.
Diarra was another one they were trying to pronounce too.
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Is that diarrhea?
He's about got 10 rebounds already before halftime.
All that being said, Terry, I do hope that Duke gets beat. I will. I do hope.
He didn't say I hope State wins.
That's how he framed it.
He can't say anything. Because he knows as he's sitting here that the ACC is already guaranteed one team in the Final Four.
I mean, that's good. I'm not. Have I trashed the ACC since I've been in here? I have not.
You have this whole last 10 minutes.
I did not. I just said that Marquette was really, really bad last night, Terry. You can't deny that. Marquette was really, really bad.
On account of State's defense being so
tough. On account of they can't hit a 3-pointer. Okay.
I couldn't find any videos, but I've got some tweets. As best I can.
The Oakland coach even
some
said State's defense is a little bit stickier than what people want to think.
They do get in your face away from the basket. I'm not going to deny that. They get after it. I mean, y'all wanting to fire this coach, but
they brought this
he gets them to
this
play
past
defense.
week, and they were talking about
which is
State.
saying something in this
Right.
time day and age, Tom. I'll give you credit for that.
I think the biggest thing is I have questioned Keats teaching these kids how to play.
More than question.
Yeah,
you
well,
guys
I'm
talk about
telling you.
firing him. All y'all State fans are talking about firing him.
Now, I'm talking about you're having 100% on defense, 100% on offense. This, to me, is the first team that I've ever seen that can succeed on both ends. I mean, and you got guys coming off the bench who can succeed on both ends. And it's amazing to me that you can continue to play the type of defense and offense that States are playing with these same guys. We only go 8 deep. And when we go 8 deep, them guys, it's
That's
the same
thing. Carolina, remember when they made their run? What were they playing, Chip? 7 guys? 6?
Yeah,
you don't play a lot of.
Yeah,
but you know what's happening.
But I'll tell you, this new YMCA, we need to play everybody 12 guys. Doesn't work as good as what State and Chapel Hill did the years they were good. I'm telling you, it works best with 7 or 8 guys. You don't need to play more than 7 or 8.
But this past week they were talking, and they brought up about Texas Tech and all of them, and they were saying by the time we got to about the last 10 minutes of the game, our defense was way much stronger against their offense than what they could bring, because they were getting tired and State was not. And there's the whole difference in the game. When you are succeeding and you know your defense in the last 10 minutes is going to be the best that you can stick out there, even though you might make a little run of 4 or 6 points, but then State opens it back up again. And that's what State's done to both of these teams that have made runs. Oakland did it, but when State got the lead, that was the end of Oakland. When Marquette made a run last night, they got back within 6, 5. State run it back up again. And State's not going to change. And they have seen coaches this past week say the State's whole total team was as strong at the start as it was at the end.
Well, I think because they're used to playing that much. I mean, you do it all year. That's what happened with Carolina a couple of years ago. I think it's the same thing.
You keep waiting for them. I mean,
you're waiting on them to get tired.
Yeah, and
they're not.
I was about to say 6 games in 6 days for the tournament, or 5. I mean, and then this. Now they've had a week since the start of the first 2 rounds of the tournament, so that week's probably helped. But you keep waiting for State to run out of gas, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, that's what I keep waiting. I said it's going to happen. They're going to crash and burn, but they don't. I will say that. I was like,
they're going to.
Last night I thought they would crash and burn.
They're going to have their A game against Duke. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, gosh, they've had their A game for the past 2 weeks now.
And I will say one thing. No, let's jump over to Duke. Last night, Houston, and somehow I don't like Sampson. I don't like how he coaches. I don't like how he grabs his players, who he goes gets, and it ain't the players. That's just who wants to go play with him. But last night they come out and they tried to be bully ball against Duke last night, and Duke withstood that and went right out there and gave them back what they wanted.
Well, that game is honestly the big surprise for me of the tournament so far, because the entire season felt like it was the top 3 teams had been Purdue, UConn, and Houston, and then you got kind of Arizona was up there for a while, and then Carolina and Tennessee. I felt like that was kind of your top tier. I felt like Houston, UConn, and Purdue it was them and then everybody else. I thought those 3 were guaranteed. That was part of the reason I had a chalk Final Four and my bias towards Carolina, hoping that they could beat Arizona. But I thought that those 3 were almost assured to be into the Final Four. That game last night surprised me.
Well, it got me because they come out there, they try to bully ball, and Duke withstood that and come back and beat them, and I'm like, there you go. That's how come. I'm sorry, Houston. I'm sorry you're out of it. Sorry for y'all. Don't like your coach, which he had quit. But, and on the other end, then I'm getting tired of hearing this UConn crap. They ever since this thing started, even their coach said, well, it's us. We know we're number 1. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. And then they talk about another thing. They even called it the UConn Invitational. Right there makes you where you don't want that to happen.
Well, a lot of
that's not. There's no way. See there was no way that was that. He knew it.
Get the other.
No, look at. See there, you can't. He's got the right to pull through.
He's not pulling through.
No,
Terry.
watch him right here. Watch him when he comes up. No, you're back it on up.
He takes an elbow and puts it in his. Trying to put it in his throat.
Terry, that's an offensive foul.
That's bull crap.
That's an offensive foul.
You can't do that. Well, no, here he goes. See, you can't run into him.
Okay, this is what I would have called. I would have called a foul on number 4.
I would,
and then
right
I would have called a foul on him
right
too.
here. There's your
flagrant
foul.
one. That's a flagrant foul.
You can't call both.
That's
of them.
a flagrant foul.
That's not
Terry.
a foul. Number 4 fouled him right off the bat.
I didn't deny that, but what the retaliation should have been. That should have been technical foul.
Bam.
Flagrant
There's
foul.
your foul.
You can't do a Draymond Green like that. You can't do that.
If the play doesn't stop, and I hear your point, Tom, that right there, call him for the body.
That's a foul.
And then in the continuation, but in the continuation, if Burns doesn't stop and he continues with that, yes, I see Tom's point.
Yeah, I mean
that's not nothing like that.
He's
He's got every right to go through him.
Not with your elbow, Terry.
Not with your elbow.
Where are you going to put your arms?
You,
Right through them. You're going through there. That's what you're going to do. That's every basketball play you've ever seen in your life, Kevin.
No. You can tell he's a Draymond fan because Draymond got thrown out
that's
4
every
minutes into the
basketball play that you've ever seen.
That's not an appropriate move. You use your body to move him down with the post move. You don't.
The man runs into you, and you're not supposed to push him away.
With your elbow in his throat.
He is in my alley. Look where my foot's at on the bottom. He is in my alley.
Terry,
he cannot be there. That is a foul.
Couple of things. One, I see this all the time where a defender bumps an offensive player, and then they'll call it travel or a double dribble or something on the offensive player, and they allow the incidental contact. This dude is way smaller than DJ Burns. Let's think Shaq. If somebody bumped into Shaq like that with their chest, they didn't call that once in his career.
Well, here's
the
problem.
Are you saying you want that
no,
call right
no, listen
there
to
for
me.
him to
listen to him.
That little baby chest bump that
all
big
right.
dude?
Well, no, guess what they done? When they went back and reviewed it, number 4 got the foul because of what he just did, and there was nothing else. State got the ball. That's after you went back and watched it. Because you can't do that.
That's terrible.
You went into his alley, and you expecting him not to do nothing back?
You are allowed. Terry's point is old school. When you got to basketball, you are allowed to hold the ball with both hands and move, but you cannot extend your elbows at any point. Yeah. Terry, he clearly extended the elbows through his rib cage.
After he was already fouled.
It doesn't matter. It's still
See, that's why the whole play got
just
reviewed and watched.
You don't mean you get to.
I was about to say,
That's how come it's all got reviewed and watched. That's a foul.
That's not a foul.
That's a foul.
At no point is that a foul.
You can't draping all over him. Look at him. He's draping all over him. You can't do that. Terry. That's how come it was changed.
Terry.
That's a foul. But number 1, send somebody bigger than number 4 to guard Burns.
There you go.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's why it wasn't a foul. Is a little gnat bumped his butt, and then he decided to destroy his.
I mean, send somebody else. Don't send that little guy.
He's got proper form, but that's rebound clearing space. You still can't extend it. He was good until right there.
How elevated his arm is. That's. No.
If we calling that a foul on Burns, then the Carolina and Houston game should have had tons of calls at the start of that game.
Well, maybe, but it's just because
the Duke Houston game.
Yeah, the Duke Houston game, because they come out there bullying ball is what Houston was doing, and they were popping Flippo in the head and Young in the head and everybody from Duke that they had in there last night.
Yeah,
and
but
they
most
thought they were going to get by.
But most of the country wanted to see that.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to the game, and I wish. This goes to your point, Terry, too. You notice how the ACC teams that were not minus Virginia, of course, but the ACC teams that were in the tournament, 2 of them 2-2 in the same wing of the bracket. So
they made sure that way they could have all 4 get there.
Exactly.
They made sure of that.
Budget of all Sweet 16 teams. San Diego State spent the least, $7.2 million. Clemson $8 million. Purdue $8.5 million. Houston $9.5 million. Clemson $8 million. They're a little more successful than the football team right now. Dabo needs to give some of that money to the basketball department.
Might need to look at UConn, $24 million. Duke, $28 million. Wow.
Duke, $28 million.
Carolina's
for
half
their
the budget of Duke.
basketball.
Look at that.
And well, see, the thing about Carolina is $10 million used to be Roy Williams, so they cut that in half for Hubert, so they saved
Thanks,
$5
Hubert.
million.
Thanks, buddy.
On that
The state of North Carolina thanks you for your service.
I know we're still paying Roy's pension though. So, here was a ranking. Here's how much they hate the ACC, Terry. I knew you'd love this one. Ranking the Sweet 16 basketball coaches in the left.
Yeah, good job, Kevin.
Look at that. Look at the bottom three. No, I didn't even get to the bottom. No, the bottom four.
Oh my gracious!
Yeah, there you go.
4 Sweet 16
Like we don't know what we're doing.
They come out with this report, and look, the 4 SEC teams are at the bottom. I don't know what memo got sent around college sports to constantly trash the ACC no matter what.
Yeah.
But explain this. Hubert Davis in the national championship game, what, his second year?
First year.
Think of that.
First year.
5 of the top 8, y'all are gone. Y'all are gone. There you go. The young coaches know everything.
Terry,
you don't know nothing.
They got Rick Barnes listed above it. All these people.
Yes. They got Shaka Smart.
Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes.
Yeah, Rick Barnes
Now,
couldn't do nothing with Mike Clemson.
Danny is what's his name's brother, right?
Yes, Bobby. Yeah.
And I'm not saying.
And he's that brother that acts like he's the brother. He thinks he's Bobby.
Yeah.
And he talks junk like he's Bobby.
Like, I played point guard at Duke.
Right.
I played against the dream team.
But Dan Hurley didn't play at Duke.
No,
I'm saying he's acting like I played against the dream team.
It's like Cooper Manning running his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll let you know.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's right. Yeah, we're the number one.
I will say the scariest thing about UConn, to give them their due, is they are
good, and
they can win in different ways.
Yep.
That's that they are more. I think they talked about Hurley, and to give him credit, he tried to build a team that was able, if they were off in one area, they could compensate with another style of ball, and they are more flexible in terms of their strategy than the other team. That's gonna be one of their big advantages.
I just hope Illinois gives them all they want.
That was the 5th time ever that the Triangle teams all made the Sweet 16. 1986, 1989, 2005, 2015. All Triangle teams make Sweet 16. Terry, that's a good trivia question to have down somewhere. Let's see what else I got on the college sports. What was last weekend's day? The 23rd? That's 16th. That's probably not one we've already did. I think I had one more as I scroll up here. Where'd it go? That's a Michigan basketball. The new Michigan basketball coach, Tom, who left Florida.
Florida
Atlantic.
Yeah.
Talking about Florida Atlantic's players, he said they are focused on FAU. They were asking that the question was, are anyone on Florida Atlantic going to transfer to Michigan? Have you had any conversations? And his answer, they were focused on FAU and none of them are in the portal, so I don't know. But I want that place to sustain success, and I'll do everything I can to help them do that. By leaving and taking more money somewhere else. I'll do everything I can. Like, why do coaches even talk? Just duh.
Because it takes a little bit of that to be a coach at that level. It takes a little bit of narcissism like that. Because you are indeed a narcissist if you think, I am leaving this program, but I can still help them. That is the ultimate. That's the ultimate narcissism.
It's just he answered it the wrong way. I wish him the best. I wish him the very best. I'm grateful for my time there.
I don't wish him the best.
He don't.
I don't.
Thanks for my money. I'm going to Michigan.
Yeah, thanks for my money.
If you left, you wouldn't worry about that.
But I could. But I am narcissistic enough to think, even though I'm leaving, I could still help this program. That's just ridiculous.
So this is it's hard to describe. So for the radio, it's a basketball game. The white team is down, I think, 1. And they're inbounding the ball near half court trying to score. And they're going to turn the ball over and then just watch the chaos that happens. Chip, we can hit audio on this one. Here we go. Turn it down a little bit, though. It's skyrocketed there. There we go.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Inbound play. Stolen half court. Going in for the dunk and a 3-point lead. Brick. 1 second left. Full court line drive.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Are you serious?
It's not the distance. He throws like a line drive. Like there's no.
These people might have witnessed the greatest basketball.
Oh my gracious!
2 seconds in history. The kid missed the dunk to clinch the game. They were already up. Misses the dunk. The kid gets the rebound and throws it full court with no seconds on the clock. Line drive, banks it in to win. Terry.
I'd hate to lose like that.
Is that
I would be telling my kid, just lay it in.
There's like 40 people in the gym.
You know, just lay
that's
it
probably
in.
an AAU game or something.
Is that reinforcement? Is that reinforcement right there? That if you get the ball and you've got the lead, dribble the ball out, don't take a shot. Is that the lesson to be?
Easy.
Is that the lesson to be learned here?
Or just lay it in.
Tell that to these Instagram kids.
Yeah, no.
And if you don't think that happened when Duke played State before, remember Middleton's dunk that didn't go through?
Yeah.
And then they got him for hanging on the rim.
Yeah.
I'll say.
I mean,
you can't tell a kid that can dunk not to dunk, not to try.
Yeah, well,
I've never had that problem.
You're gonna try no matter what.
You gotta tell this.
Don't dunk.
All he was thinking as he was going down, man, I'm gonna get 3,000 Instagram likes. Yeah, you're gonna get 3,000 Instagram likes
for the wrong reason.
Yeah. All right, real quick before we go to break, gotta go over the brackets. Right now, first place, and I've been in there the whole time, but it's going to come to a crashing end very soon. I got 66 points. Zach is in second with 64. JP is in third with 62. Chip in fourth with 59. Terry in fifth with 57. And Tom in last right now with 52. But
Tom,
what's our proposed?
But things can change. So let's go down the list. I'm in the lead, but I'm in trouble. I only got 16 points left. I got 66 with 16 points, so I can get a grand total of 82 points.
But this is the whole thing which I should have known. Never mind. I shouldn't even. Shut your mouth, Terry.
Terry, you shouldn't have picked North Carolina is what you should have.
No, that ain't the point. I'm sitting here like we're getting bonus bets for picking teams who.
Bonus points, not bets, Terry.
Well, it's the same.
No, it's not.
For picking
bonus bets
a team
are actually pretty cool, Terry. You gotta try it.
Well, no,
bonus
it's
bets
not.
are actually a lot cooler than bonus points. If you get bet 365,
we're getting the bonus points in for picking teams who are seated lower to beat teams that are seated higher.
In the first round, Terry, was all it was, and you're down 2 points.
I got a feeling if you go
you
just
picked
wins,
4 upsets. So if you got 4 points.
If
so
you go
Terry,
total wins,
if it weren't for your pool,
I'm probably way ahead of everybody.
No, you're not even close.
I guarantee it.
Terry, you're going to finish last as well. This chirping is coming from you. You can only get 8 more points. So Terry can get a total of 65. Chip can get a total of 170. 120, 131. And the champion of all champions,
Johnny Brackett's in there.
John Brackett's Prather. There's a likelihood about
150.
a 90% chance that he is going to be the champion of the brackets.
As long as Clemson keeps winning.
That's the point, JP. That's what the whole thing about bracketology is.
He can get a grand total of 150 points. He still has 88 available points compared to Terry. So JP's got 62. Terry has 57.
Hey, JP.
Tom, listen to this. JP can get 88. Terry can get 8, and he's complaining about those 2 extra bonus points.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. If Clemson gets beat today, then JP's out.
Not necessarily.
He's totally.
No, he ain't. He's still got 3. He's got 3 Final Four teams.
I was about to say
he's got the most Final Four teams.
Yeah.
He's got Tennessee, Duke. Chip's got Houston, Duke. So he don't have a final. He's got Chip's got
Purdue to win it.
He's got Purdue and UConn. Zach's got Purdue and Duke left in the Final Four. Tom's got Purdue and UConn. Terry, you've got State, and I've got UConn.
You watch, it'll come down.
So JP, if Clemson gets put out, still has 2 more, has just the same number of Final Four people as we all do. He's about clinched.
This is going to come down to
Clemson wins. This probably is over.
Tom or I, one or the other, is going to make a last minute comeback here because it's going to be UConn or Purdue. That's what's going to happen.
You just jinxed it, Chip. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. I do what I can.
Let me go over some other leagues that the champions do matter. The College Insider Bowl is over with, and Norfolk is the state champions out of it. They finished 24-11 with a 75-67 win over Purdue Fort Wayne, and some guys on their teams that made a little bit of history. senior guard Alan Beltrain had 16 points, and Christian Enos, he was the other guy. He had 17 points for Norfolk State. And then another one.
Wasn't that a character on the Dukes of Hazzard?
Might have been.
Who was that?
Enos?
Yes. Yeah.
But that's the College Insider.
He's
Now,
he's the deputy.
on the CBI, their championship come down between Seattle and High Point out of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Seattle come out on top. They finished 23-14. They won 77-67. Cameron Tyson with the senior guard. See, that's what I'm saying. When you get to all these other tournaments, you have seniors and juniors leading the way. Like the other two guys out of that Norfolk State had two seniors. This guy right here, they've got two seniors that led down. Cameron Tyson had 30 points, and Alex Shoemaker had 22 to lead Seattle to the win.
They're good basketball players. They're just not as big. That's all it is. They're just not as big. But their basketball skills are probably better. They're just,
they're at these.
Well, High Point's got a 7-footer. He's pretty.
Yeah, Bo or something like that. His name.
So before we go, I do have
they've got a sour taste in their mouth anyway. They were almost guaranteed to be the Big South Conference representative, and Longwood ended their hopes with that.
Well, you can listen to all the games, like Tom said, on 92.9 FM, 101.5 FM KTC Broadcasting. Today's schedule: Illinois at UConn at 6. Clemson and Alabama basketball.
What sport is this?
At 8:45, Alabama's favored by 3.5. UConn favored by 8.5. Let's pick these games, guys. We'll go across the board here. Illinois and UConn. Tommy, Illini or Husky?
Well, I got to go with UConn. I picked them. I got to go against the Big Ten. But I just think UConn is, the closest thing to a dominant team that we have right now. So it's just hard to go against UConn. And then, okay, you're going to pick one game at a time.
Yeah, Terry,
right?
who you got in UConn and
There's
Illinois?
I hate picking UConn, but I have to on account
trucks
of
are
who
what
they
you
are.
you do truck
That's
money
me.
better
That's me,
than
not
anyone
JP.
else.
Go ahead. Mute that. Wait, no, they couldn't hear it on the radio. Well, they actually could.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Terry.
UConn.
UConn. Chip.
UConn.
JP. Connecticut Huskies or
Whatever an Illini is.
Illinois Illini. Matt, now you already picked Illinois on your brackets. You gonna stick with them?
Just go with Illinois.
Okay, can't change your glorious bracket. All right, Tommy, the other game, Clemson and Alabama, your two favorite schools. Who you going to go with in this one?
Can they both lose? Let's see. I'm just going to go on with the hot hand and go with Clemson.
Terry?
No, I'm staying with Clemson.
JP has Clemson for sure. Chip?
Any team that puts Carolina out, I'm gonna pick the Tide.
Bama. I don't pick Bama for no reason in any sport because they got those horrible colors. Yeah. Go Tigers.
Yeah, your dad is upset that he wanted to know why we didn't break down Withers taking a 3 with a minute left in that game. We didn't break that one down. Just kind of stupidity. Is that we're just going to chalk it up to stupidity? Not saying anything.
He was wide open, wasn't he?
Well,
shot clock was winding down, wasn't it?
At the time, they were ahead, though, right? They were ahead at the time he took the 3.
You can't take a knee.
Yeah, well, you
Coach, what do you want me to do?
Take a knee.
The rim was too far away. I couldn't dunk it.
Take a knee.
Granted, probably should have wiser decision should have been made.
Well, Dean Smith had victory formations called 4 corners, right?
They still have the play. You just got to run it in a 35-second, and then when it gets to what you do is you just run it until you get to like 7 seconds and have a plan for whoever's got it at that point, and then boom, you run it.
Calvin said there were 17 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, it's winding down. That's like
I mean, there's hardly any time left, Calvin.
Shot clock's what, 30 seconds?
We're almost halfway there.
Well, I just want to say, I thought I saw Calvin looking at a classic car as I was going down Stony Point the other day. Just going to tell you, Calvin, don't be all depressed and go buy a car to help yourself feel better.
To cope.
There's a guy that sells classic cars over there on Stony Point. I could have swore I saw Calvin Hastings out there looking at that old Chevrolet. I'm like,
that's where we live.
Yeah, but it wasn't at his house. So he was over there. I know he was looking over there. I said, I think that's Calvin over there looking at a car, trying to cheer himself up, maybe paint that old Bel Air blue and white, just make it a Carolina card, make it feel better.
Nice.
well, Chip, as far as that game goes, things online, people complain about Cadeau not playing enough. Is any other thing, in Hubert's rotation or anything like that you had any complaints about?
The team's been so Jekyll and Hyde all year long. I didn't. That's why I didn't pick him. They're my team, and I want him to get to the Final Four again. It's part of the reason I went with Chalk. And I think both them and Arizona, in a way, got a game ahead. They were both looking at that matchup, and I think they probably weren't focused on the team they were facing this weekend. But we were all hoping for that matchup, and everybody talked about the revenge tour for Caleb Love. I thought it would have been a revenge game for R.J. Davis. That's why I thought they would make the Final Four. But, yeah,
I'm just glad Caleb Love didn't get to blow kisses at the Clemson people.
He did not.
Yeah, he had a sad face on him leaving.
Sad face. Frowny face. Somebody's got a frowny face.
Isn't it wild that those two football programs knocked out North Carolina and Arizona?
Hey, JP, how about Dabo leading this Clemson basketball team, man? How about Dabo just getting them inspired?
Yeah.
No comment.
He doesn't know who Dabo is.
I still want to see.
I think North Carolina was after they saw Arizona lost. I think they eased up a little bit. Terry thought they would cruise.
Maybe. Well, they jumped out 10.
They were looking forward to playing Caleb. I would assume.
Maybe a little crestfallen.
But I'm just gonna say, R.J. Davis is the player I thought he was. Always thought he was.
0 from 9 from behind the arc.
He's the player his ex-girlfriend thought he was.
Ooh.
Put it that way. So, anyway, Tennessee and Purdue today. Sunday. Purdue's favored by 3.5. I know Chip has the Boilermakers.
Yes.
Tom?
Oh, yeah. How could you bet against Zach Edey in this game? He's a monster. I don't think they have anybody can handle him, do they?
Terry, you might beg to differ on that.
I do. Rick Barnes, he'll daggum have his Tennessee guys ready, and they'll beat Purdue.
What strategy is there against Zach Edey? He'll daggum have his players ready to go.
They will. They are just as physical underneath.
Is he going to yell at one until he's 7'4" like Zach Edey?
You got so many guys you can throw at him. Edey can't do everything by himself.
Well,
like who?
Tennessee.
If there's a team that can win different ways, similar to UConn, it would be Purdue.
I mean, I'm asking legitimately. I don't know, who does Tennessee have that they can throw at Edey?
They don't have no guy but they got big guys underneath they can pound him.
Right. So Terry's point is, and I'll agree with Terry on this, is that I don't need to have the Chicago Bulls used to do this. You don't need to have David Robinson to beat Shaq. You can go out there with Luke Longley and Bill Winnington
and Will Purdue.
You got 3 7.
All I have to do is be good this day.
Right. They got 15 fouls.
That's exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Let me put it to you.
Make him shoot free throws instead of sitting down there, and that's how you do it. Whether it works or not,
because
you hope it works. That's your strategy. You hope it works.
People can say all they want to. Cozell McQueen was as good as Elijah one.
No, he wasn't.
So that's all that's got to be said.
No, he wasn't.
All I know is he was at the end of it, holding up pack power.
JP, Tennessee. I got Tennessee after even though Terry just ruined. Shit talked way too long for that. JP, Tennessee Volunteers or the Purdue Boilermakers?
Tennessee.
All right.
That's who he picked on his bracket, actually.
NC State at Duke.
Oh.
Well, let's see. Terry's got Duke going to the Final Four, so he's got him winning this game, don't he?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't have him. Yeah, he has State going to the Final Four.
Yeah. That's what I said. Did I not say
You said Duke. You said Duke.
Yeah. So Terry's got State. Chip?
Ain't no way I'm picking for Duke. No. State. All the way.
Tom?
Heart, head, and everything.
NC State shocks the world. They beat Duke, get into the Final Four for the first time since Valvano was there.
Jimmy V.
Kiss of death. JP.
Oh, he didn't talk that long. Come on, man.
But he never picked State.
This was actually the hardest one to pick for me because I wanted to go with Terry, but I'm like, I'm sorry. I think Duke's going to do it.
That's who you picked in your bracket, too.
He
stuck to his bracket.
To be honest, any team I'm going to pick is the one I picked in the bracket.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If they hit their threes, they're going to beat them. But Terry swears that their defense will deny the three, and Duke won't get on one of those rolls where they're just making threes. make 20 of them or something stupid.
All right, finally, as we go to break, I'm gonna leave you for the folks at home. For the folks on the radio, this show is on video on YouTube Live, and you can go back and watch it. So if you're driving around, want to know, hey, I missed this part, what happened? You can always go back and watch the replay on YouTube. Go to KDC Broadcasting channel. It's just KDC Broadcast. All I got to do is type in on that. I did have one more. Oh, yeah. Real quick. We still don't have a winner for Martinsville. Well, if you want Martinsville tickets, all you got to do is call in and tell JP what comes on a Martinsville hot dog. 704-435.
That's a good hot dog.
2845. Get you a Martinsville hot dog next weekend. All right. We're going to leave you with video. I know it's grainy video, but of janitors playing basketball in 1983. This janitor's called Clyde the Glide Drexler. I guess because he would slide across the floors. Is that why they called this janitor that? I don't know what, but we'll watch him as he takes off here. Chip, would you hit the sound for me there? I probably got some good sound on this one.
With an excellent officiated game. Here's Drexler the steal. That's Cerezi's third in the country in that department. I don't believe it.
That was pretty good. What's this angle? What's this jam?
He took off at the foul line. Look like Dr. J.
Bigger, faster, stronger, huh?
Yeah, they are. And guess what? They lost to North Carolina State in the NCAA championship game.
Look at that right there, though.
Golly.
They had nothing for Cozell McQueen.
They had, well, the Clyde Drexler was the one that sucked in that game. But just the way they talk about people today, Terry, and saying that these guys weren't athletes, it just blows my like we were just walking around like sloths 25 years ago. Like Drexler's jumping over people.
Neanderthals. David Thompson.
Vince Carter. They're like 90s athletes. Vince Carter was 97. He jumped over a 7-foot dude. Not athletes.
No, I think this was way back in 1983, so I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 83.
Where are they playing there?
Yeah,
Memphis State, what it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good call.
But
Memphis State.
Yeah.
Drexler had 21 in this one.
But I keep looking at this stuff, and
Akeem Abdul Olajuwon was his name at the end. Go ahead, Terry.
With no H on the Akeem.
Yeah, Akeem was his African name. He had the H when he went to the Muslim faith. Sorry, Jerry, go ahead.
I've already forgot what I was going to say. Every time I get ready to say something,
talking about Memphis.
it's
about
like
Memphis.
Everybody, No, we're good.
It's about Memphis or whatever. I think it was. But anyway, there's Clyde.
No, I think what I was going to say is I think in the championship game in 1983, he had 3 fouls, and they stuck him back in. Guy Lewis did, and he picked up number 4 before halftime.
One other thing I was going to say about him is when they talk about the all-time players, they'll talk, Jordan and Kobe and Wade and West, and he used to be in this conversation, and then they just don't talk about it anymore. And I think it's a bad thing that Clyde Drexler isn't talked about like he used to be. And he was the number 2 shooting guard like Jordan, and then it was Drexler and Dominique. Like those were the 2 guys, and nobody even talks about Dominique. Like he's a janitor too.
Yeah.
Let's watch Dominique dunk the ball and tell me how big of a janitor him and Sean Kemp and them are. But
before Jordan, Dominique Wilkins was really who took the baton from Dr. J as the premier dunker in the league.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. We got to finish up. We got NFL, Major League Baseball opening day week this week, NBA and more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Bo Cheney, driver of the number 17 NASCAR Weekly Series late model stock car. When I need quality services, I shop with Hendricks Honda of Hickory, Bug Busters, Country Town and Tire, Farm Bureau Insurance with Marvin Melton, Doug's Fleet and Auto Glass, and ProMotion Motor Company. Support your local businesses, and I'll see you at the track this year.
ProMotion Motors, celebrating 25 years in business at 2527 East Main Street in Lincoln. Online at PromotionMotors.com and like them on Facebook too. If you are new to Medicare or would like to learn more about your Medicare options, here's some good news. Contact Ty Penhall at 704-489-6970. You have many choices when it comes to healthcare options. Let's face it, it's very confusing with all the nonstop commercials about healthcare. With over 20 years of healthcare experience, he can help you find the right plan for your healthcare needs. If you would like to attend a no-obligation healthcare event, please call Ty at 704-489-6970 to reserve your seat now. Again, that's 704-489-6970. With the change of seasons, today's Pro in Shelby is having a sale, a clearance sale on the remaining name brand gas logs. Some are slightly used, and some brand new, but they all come with a manufacturer's warranty. Also, displays are on sale as well. Come in and save and get ready for pool season. Today's Pro has all your pool supplies, and yes, they do water testing too. That's Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Call 704-600-8393. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Like them on Facebook too.
Nothing beats March Madness. The pure sound of a swish, the rattle of a slam dunk, the fans on their feet for the big moments. And the action just keeps getting better until a national champion is crowned. Hear all the action with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here.
Listen to it all on Carolina Country, WCSL, and The Boss, WOHS. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Are you looking for a new career? Have you ever thought about working in a school? Now is the time to make it happen. The Gaston County School Job Fair is April 16th at the Gastonia Conference Center. There are positions available in all areas, including teachers, teacher assistants, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, maintenance personnel, and office staff. Visit the Gaston County Schools website for information about employment opportunities and to sign up for the job fair April 16th. The time is now to begin your career in Gaston County Schools.
Spring is the best time of the year to play golf, and the Cherryville Golf and Country Club invites you to play. You'll love the challenge at the Cherryville Golf and Country Club. For tee times, call 704-435-6597. It's open to the public. Plus, ask about special membership offers. And they have a driving range, too. And remember the Cherryville Golf and Country Club for that special event. The Cherryville Golf and Country Club, 200 Club Drive in Cherryville, online at cherryvillegolf.com, and like them on Facebook, too.
And we're back with
JP, you in there?
Is your button on? Because we're not hearing you.
Yeah, we lost you, pal.
Oh, well.
There
Back
there
to
we
much
go.
more
How
talk.
about that?
Now we're back.
There we go.
Just forgot to turn my button on.
Got to turn my button on. Well, NBA action. Season's winding down. Hornets announced LaMelo Ball out for the season. We'll go, let's see. I'm going to look at, I can't remember how many games. Hasn't played a full season yet.
Should have traded him when we had the chance.
I think we still got the chance. If
You think somebody will still take?
Oh God, yeah. He's young. Somebody will take him in a heartbeat. I'm serious. Y'all think I'm funny? I'm serious. I call Golden State when they get beat in this play-in game or tournament, whatever they're going about doing. I'm like, look, y'all can ride Steph out and lose the rest of the years, or you can make a change and do something else. It might not work, but somebody will tell you. You don't think the New York Knicks would take him in a heartbeat? The Knicks would said to sell it. They'd trade Spike Lee for him.
But okay, well, here's the question: would we get something worthwhile in return? That's the question.
Here's the games that LaMelo's played in his 4 seasons: 51, 75.
All right, hey, now that's a good season.
36 and 22.
Gracious.
If you've ever seen the X-rays of his ankles and the screws in them, you would think, I don't see how he'd ever play basketball again. To be honest, doesn't look good. Of course, you know, the pessimistic fans like me. And we said it from the I want to trade. The Hornets can't get. What are we supposed to do? Sit here and hope he's going to be healthy, and he's going to develop as the team leader, not as just a scorer. If you're going to be a point guard and run the team, you just can't dribble up the court and jack up 40-foot shots. Not everybody's Steph Curry. But what would be the plan? Hey, in 3 or 4 or 5 years, we might be good with him and Brandon Miller, or are they ever going to do something?
Do you? And so you at this point, you even get a first-round draft pick for him?
Dude, somebody's going to get. I think you're way underestimating what you're going to get for him.
I hope you're right.
It's 100%. Like it's, dude. It's what? Have you ever watched ESPN? Like he gets one, he'll have 17 turnovers and throw one alley oop, and that's the highlight. That'll be.
That's all the GMs are watching.
That'll be all. Oh God, I don't know if the Knicks with Brunson or something, but it's somebody will take him.
I will agree with something you mentioned during the break, though. Speaking of Golden State, and yeah, reach out to him. it's about time for them to blow that team up. And
why would you go get LaMelo Ball?
That's not why I'm saying who you go get. I'm
But-
just saying if you're blowing it up, Terry, would you not take a young guy that can average 20 and 10?
No, not LaMelo Ball.
Okay, Terry, who are you gonna get?
I'm just saying.
No, what I'm asking, who is it? I know you don't like LaMelo Ball, and I know what I'm saying is you guys and me all think the same thing about him. But what we think about him is not even close to what everybody else in this world in the NBA thinks about. They love LaMelo Ball. The world, like Tom says, they want him to dribble around, shake his furry hair, and jack up a three, and do signs and do whatever, and they all have a good time. And they love it because they want to sell their tickets and everything. Somebody is going to do it. Now, whether Terry, you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not going to trade Steph Curry. But then you say, well.
How old is Steph?
Again, he's 35. But again, who else has given up someone that can score 20 points a game and is 22 years old?
That's what,
Nobody else has got that available.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
If I'm Golden,
35-year-old.
If I'm Golden State, I'm thinking, how old is Steph at this point? How much more?
It's not going to happen, but it's a good hypothetical.
I mean,
but I just Golden State at some point, are they just going to? Is their goal to let Steph play until he retires?
Their clock is ticking right now with Draymond because he is showing with his childish, immature behavior that the suspension that they really thought was going to be a turning point for him earlier this year had zero effect. He is the modern day Bill Laimbeer. He thinks the rules don't apply to him. He's a big bully of a brat, and I'm tired of watching him play and just he ruins any game he's in now.
The foul that was called on him the other day was not his foul. That's the guy jumped into him.
Oh gosh!
And then they gave him the foul.
Which game are you talking about?
Which foul are we talking about, Terry?
The game he got tossed
in 3 minutes.
Yeah, in under 4 minutes.
You know,
very embarrassing.
Well, this is last night. Him wrestling a Charlotte Hornet. Grant Williams, all foul.
It looks to me like Grant has him wrapped around his arm.
They finally, and the ref called it on Draymond. He's like, "What?" It's like these are the dudes. You're at the gym. And you're like,
watch his hand.
No, Terry, no.
Now, all right, going back to
my hands like this, and his hands all the way
what we're
around both of mine.
Let's go back to the previous
rounds around both of them.
The last clip we watched, he's displacing who is that for the Hornets? He's displacing him. He's watch that. He's getting into his space using your argument.
But that's what I'm saying. But here's the deal. Now, when you continue on and let it continue to happen, who's the foul going to go on?
They called on Draymond.
And it should be. Because he was there, but
Grant Williams is standing
keep
in that
on
spot.
going with the whole deal. Keep on going.
Foul on Draymond.
There's a foul.
Foul on Draymond.
Yep, that's a foul.
Another foul on Draymond.
But then when you continue on, his
Fourth
arms
foul on
wrapped
Draymond.
around mine
No.
totally.
Then he tries to suplex him.
Yeah, Draymond's lifting his arm up. He's not.
The foul was on
What a
Draymond.
clown.
Yeah, he's just
3 minutes. How you get thrown out of a game in 3 minutes? Like
You're Draymond Green.
I'm a millionaire. I'm an NBA player. I can't dribble and shoot. I'm going to come to this game. I'm lucky I'm in the building. And then in 3 minutes, I'm going to get tossed after all this
That
preparation.
foul was his.
He
But
ought to
the
be-
one the other day when they were thinking was playing Minnesota and he got tossed, the foul should have been on the other guy.
Adam Silver should suspend him for the rest of this year and all of next year. Maybe that'll wake him up. And at that point, maybe he's going to be too old to play.
Okay,
that's
then
what we
maybe
could have.
some of these other players in the NBA ought to have the same thing done to them because the same
Tom, I
stuff's
just don't-
happening.
Tom, will you? I know I'm not going to get a good answer from Terry. Will you explain to me why Golden State? What does he have on someone that like?
I don't know.
It's not even. He's not a good. He's in Terry. He's not as good as Dennis Rodman. He averages 7 rebounds a game. If he was getting 15 boards a game and dominating that way, I would say maybe
overlook his shenanigans.
But like, dude's going to give me 7 or 5, and then he's going to give me 5 rebounds, and all he does is stand at the top of the key and look for Steph Curry to hand it to. When you could find 80 other people in the NBA that can do that, and it just blows my mind why they could have Terry. They could have Kevin Durant instead of Draymond Green, and they chose Draymond Green. That's all you have to say.
All you got to do is ask Curry.
Who was shaking his head at him the other day?
Yeah, he was.
Jordan Poole's not there because of Draymond Green. Harrison Barnes ain't there because of Draymond Green.
I mean,
Kevin Durant ain't there because of Draymond Green. But we all like what is it? What has he done? What does he know that you want to keep a guy around that doesn't do anything but cause trouble?
I'm looking at this clip right now of Steph, and it almost looks like, is he frustrated with Draymond, or is he actually hurt? It's like, why are you throwing my man out?
No, he's mad at Draymond.
No, he's mad at Draymond because that's the first thing
I mean,
he said
he gets-
afterwards. After the game, what did he say? We need this guy. He helps us when he's on the
I
court.
mean, he's bloody emotional here.
He's
not-
he's embarrassed. Chip.
Yes.
He's embarrassed for his team.
Look at this.
Should have kept Kevin.
That's what he's thinking. We got this clown, and we could have had 3 or 4 other guys that are better and not embarrassed.
No, he knows there's no way they can make it to the playoffs if they don't have Draymond.
Bull.
He knows that.
Bull. That's wrong. That's just false. It'd be so much better. He's like, man, wouldn't we be better without this sideshow freak?
This distraction.
You know, this distraction.
Nick Wright is right here talking about Steph's got to make the decision now that whether he's going to stay with the Warriors or leave Draymond behind. So there's other people besides us are seeing or saying it.
Maybe the GM's scared that Draymond will beat him up if they trade him or something. I mean, where would he go? Who would want him?
That's the thing.
Who'd want that?
Any other team? Nobody's going to deal with it, care about it, want it. Who wants him? Terry, y'all want him? Who would you trade for the Celtics? On the Celtics, who would you? So you've been talking about how good Draymond is for years. So on the Celtics, you're the GM today. You get to get the Warriors call and say, "We got Draymond Green." What for? You make the offer, GM for the Celtics, and we're going to accept it because we got to get rid of him. Who are you offering them?
We're not offering anybody because we're not going to be the one to do that.
There we go. Would you not trade Kristaps Porzingis for Draymond Green?
I mean, the whole.
Would you trade Porzingis for Draymond?
What?
It's just a question.
That's not what we're asking here.
If I'm the Warriors,
No, I'm
No,
asking
if
Terry,
it's
he's
the Celtics.
and the Warriors call and say, "We'll give you Draymond for Kristaps Porzingis." What do you say?
He's been talking. He's defended Draymond for all this time. So wouldn't it make sense for him to want to have him on the Celtics?
I just can't believe you ain't said yes quickly yet.
Yeah, I know.
Why have you not said yes yet? So Porzingis is better than Draymond?
I don't even understand what y'all trying to say. If you take
if the Boston Celtics offered
Tom.
Porzingis for Golden State, would you take the trade? It's
No,
not
y'all
a
are
trick question.
making this
It's
so
a
hard.
yes, I would, or
No,
no,
it's
I
not
would
what
not.
we're
Porzingis
asking.
for Draymond Green? Yes or no, Terry?
We are talking about Golden State.
We're talking
We
about
are talking about Golden
He won't
State.
answer it.
Okay, no, I'm not going to answer it because here's your question.
What
for
office
Golden
you
State.
running for, Terry? Anyway, I'm just
No,
curious.
here's your question for Golden State. Y'all don't want to listen, but here's your problem for them. If I give up Draymond, who protects my middle?
Kristaps Porzingis.
They have nobody.
So
Porzingis.
your answer is no. You would
Porzingis.
not. You would
No,
not.
you
trade.
have nobody.
But as a
Porzingis.
Boston fan, would you want Draymond on your team in Boston? Silence. Silence.
Crickets.
Crickets.
No.
That's what we thought. That's what we're just saying. That's what we're saying there.
That's
Terry.
not what anybody's
That's what
saying.
you're saying.
That's what we're
Hey,
saying.
Kevin, ask me a question.
That's
would
only
you
y'all.
trade blah blah
Would
blah
you-
for Draymond Green and put in the Cavs player?
Here, let's
Do you know
let's
it?
find the Cleveland
Would you
Cavaliers.
trade Draymond for Donovan Mitchell?
No.
Am
Okay,
I gonna
that's how it
trade-
works.
Tom, would you trade Draymond for Jared Allen?
No.
Would you trade Draymond for Darius Garland?
No.
Karis LeVert?
Who?
No. Even though I don't really like LeBron. No.
Craig Porter?
No.
Do we trade LaMelo for
Y'all still have
Draymond?
Tristan Thompson.
No. I like Tristan Thompson.
How about 3 of the Kardashians for
No.
Draymond Green?
To think about it for a
Now,
minute.
Terry, would you trade Kristaps Porzingis for Draymond Green?
See, y'all don't even understand what y'all
You ain't gonna
saying.
answer the question, Willie.
I'm not going to answer a
No.
question when we are lead
No.
the NBA in wins. Y'all are asking some stupid questions
No,
about somebody.
If Draymond's so good, he can make you even better, though.
Boston is the number 1 team in the NBA, way ahead of anybody else. Nobody else is even close.
Hey, Terry, if LeBron, if
Nobody
LA called,
from the West,
if
nobody from the East is in the same category as Boston.
if LA called
And
and
y'all are
offered
asking me to trade somebody from Boston
like
to go get
asking
somebody.
the AI bots that have no idea how to answer.
Boston's not going to trade for anybody. We don't need
so,
nobody.
so if LA offered LeBron for Kristaps Porzingis, you're not going
That
to take.
is one of the dumbest questions I've ever heard in my life.
Okay. All right. So let's say the Celtics lose in the finals to the Oklahoma City Thunder. or
Now
whoever.
we're playing.
So now we're in July.
Yeah.
It's the off season.
Yeah.
But we're not going to lose.
Everybody's 0-0.
Could be Denver.
Whoever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's say you come in second, and it's the off season, and the Warriors call you in July and say, Terry, Kristaps Porzingis for Draymond Green. Will you take it?
We'll tell you at that point in time, we'll give you Al Horford and a number 1 pick, and we'll take Draymond.
Number 1 pick.
Al Horford
So
and
now
the
we got
number
it.
1 pick for Draymond?
Now we got it.
Oh, my gracious.
Al Horford.
Oh, my gosh.
Because we'd be gaining the number 1 defensive player back on our team to make us that much stronger. So, yeah.
Enjoy the sideshow, buddy.
I'm just telling you,
He
there's
still
no
wouldn't trade
way.
for Porzingis.
There's no way anybody.
No,
would
we're not giving up
consider-
Porzingis.
No,
I mean, y'all was asking
That's
me
all
to
we
give
were- that's
up
all we were
Porzingis.
asking.
That's all we were asking.
No, you don't ask a guy that's team's way ahead of everybody in the NBA to give up somebody.
Sure
We're not going to do that.
So Terry offered a 37-year-old player.
And a first-round draft
It's
choice.
averaging 8.
There you go. Because that just made us that much stronger. Because I'm going to give you a
Let's see what
38-year-old who's about done, and you can have a first round, and we'll take Draymond.
My gosh.
So,
He's out- he is out of
I'm
his-
glad you have equaled Draymond's value to a 38-year-old player who's out of the league.
And a
Thank
first
you.
round.
Thank you.
And a first
Thank you.
round.
Thank you. Yeah, the 28th pick in the first round. Porzingis averaging 19 and 8. Oh, Terry, Tom, it's funny. I offer him that, and that's the one he don't want to give up. Who could be? What if Porzingis was standing
That
playing
don't
in
make
Golden
sense.
State?
That's, see,
top
that's
of
not.
the key?
That's the
Think
question
about
y'all
Draymond.
asking.
Think about Draymond's off on offense. Draymond stands at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Hands off, fakes. But if it was Porzingis doing it,
I can't
he can hand
answer
off,
fake questions.
Oh, 3-pointer.
Boom.
Yeah, I
I'll
can't.
be better
I
for
can't,
the team.
I can't answer fake questions.
Fake questions. All right, you're so silly.
I saw him the other day when Draymond knocked down 2 3-pointers back to back. And everybody was like, "Holy moly, he can shoot from out there now!" Yeah, because I have to
That's
do.
like, it sounds like
I
a
have
high
to go
school.
do Seth.
That's,
I mean,
that's a high school
Curry's
kid
fault.
bragging. I hit 2 3-pointers
In a row.
That's
In a
high-
row.
That's
Yeah.
high school. That's high school.
Look, Draymond has more 3-pointers than Larry Bird.
Larry Bird was always
Oh,
hurt.
oh gosh.
Draymond has made more 3-pointers in his career than Larry Bird did.
He's got more triple doubles than Michael Jordan. Yep. There you go. You want to put everything in perspective? That's what we're doing.
Let's put it in, okay. We'll put it in perspective.
What's his war?
No. Terry's argument is the idiot, the LeBron argument idiot, and the Scottie Pippen are idiot. They'll equate 2 more assists over 17 or 23 points.
Yeah.
Averaging 30 and 6 assists is better than averaging 7 and 7, Terry.
Curry will sit here and tell you we cannot give up Draymond because he is really basically the only guy on our team that plays defense.
If you get a real basketball player for him,
that
you can.
plays defense, remember, Kevin.
Get it
Because
all.
Curry does play none.
Physically
Thompson,
assaulting other players.
Is just not playing defense. I agree.
Thompson does not play none.
Okay, well get an all defensive player to
Wiggins
replace
does
him.
not play none. Let me just keep naming players over there on our team that they do not play defense because they just want to outscore you.
And Isaiah needed Bill Lambier. That's it.
Peyton's the only guy that we can throw out there to help Draymond.
So, Draymond in his career has made 654 3-pointers. Larry Bird made 649. Draymond shot. It took him 500.
So now we're saying Draymond's as
Can he
good as
finish,
Larry
Terry?
Bird.
Can he finish?
It took Draymond 300 more 3-pointers to tie him or pass him. So he just only 300 more shots. But he's there.
That's an
He's
effective use of your offense.
He's there. He's there. All right, let's see. That was him ejected. Oh, the 4 minutes.
If I had a little bit better medical technology back then, like they do today, and could have helped him through that back injury.
Oh man!
I always
the
think
big
about coming here every week and having like
Draymond got ejected.
grown up conversations. Then I get in here with y'all talking about Draymond.
He got ejected and he wasn't even in the play. It was Wiggins playing defense, and Draymond standing over here and got ejected 2 minutes in the game. He wasn't even in the play.
Not on the second one. The first one he got, that was a foul. They called it on Draymond. And the guy jumped into him.
This is the second one, right? I just showed it, and then now we're going to argue with this. He called him a name. You can read his lips. T, get out of here. He called him I can't say it out loud. But you can read his lips if you watch it. Right there. P-A-N is what he called him. If you can put those words together, and that's what you get. He got kicked out for. 6-6, Tom. Let me pay him $25 million for that.
That's embarrassing.
NBA standings, though. Where's the Cavs at after losing to the Hornets? Speaking of embarrassing.
I will
Way
say,
behind us.
you know, Lowe's.
Gosh, Kevin.
I like
12 and a half games behind us. That's all I got to say.
Don't matter. All you do is get in the tournament.
Y'all are so far behind you don't think right.
You've had your chance to be stupid. Be quiet. But I'm just going to tell you that Lowe's drilling threes, you know, they've had that sponsorship for years. I got so sick and tired of seeing that because Charlotte probably they had to hit 15 threes. You have to look it up, Kevin. They probably hit 15 threes. They played well. Cavs didn't play any defense. It was just, their effort was just not good. Now, they got Mitchell back, and they won last night. They beat Philadelphia, who's struggling, so that's not all that great. It just, man, when you watch an NBA game and they don't play defense, it's just frustrating. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, guys, play a little defense. They had a 10-point lead in the first quarter. And
no lead is safe anymore. All the teams. How many big leads has Boston given up in this second half of the season?
I'd be fine with this. Cut out 20 to 25 games from the season and make them play a better product.
Yes.
And I know that, you know, beer sales and popcorn sales is better with 81 or 82. They play 82, right? 82
Correct.
games.
Yes. 82.
Than 62 games or whatever, but the quality would be. I think the quality would be better because the games would mean a little bit more if they didn't play as many.
See, this is the stuff that makes me mad because Boston had a 30-point lead the other night against Atlanta, and we blew it. They come back and they won.
Based on your argument, you could afford to use Draymond.
But no, the big deal on our end was we had guys sitting out. So they make a great big deal out of that. I'm like, okay, so we was up by 30. This is the NBA. I've seen guys blow 20-point leads every day in the NBA. We blew a 30, and then we lose to them again, and he's like, oh, Lordy, it's all falling apart in Boston. I'm like, here we go again with a bunch of other guys setting out. I told y'all last week this is when Boston should be setting players. That's what they're doing. These games don't mean nothing to Boston, nothing. But to everybody else, it does. And I'm like, who cares whether we win these games or not? It means nothing. We're number one. We're not going to lose number one. Nobody's going to catch us.
Chip, hit the computer here. Here's sound from Anthony Edwards talking about if there's anything he could change about the league.
Anything I could change about the league to make it better? Probably just all the guys sitting resting. That's the only thing I probably don't like. Just play, man. If you 80%, you got to play. I don't like all the sitting, missing games and stuff. Like these people might have enough money to come to one game, you know what I'm saying? And that might be the game they come to, and then you sitting out, you know what I'm saying? So I take pride in trying to play every game because I don't know, it might be one fan that has never seen me play, and I'm trying to play. So that's the only thing I don't like, guys just sitting out.
Tell me that's not Michael Jordan's kid.
That's Michael Jordan's son, Anthony Edwards.
College.
Everything he says, talks, looks, dunks.
Thanks.
Every single thing about him.
Golly.
Is that a rumor or something?
Yes.
That's like an urban myth or
so what's the
conspiracy
connection between Michael Jordan and his mother?
There is, as far as we know, he don't know his father at all.
Okay.
And they look exactly the same and talk exactly the same and jump exactly the same.
But there's nobody has connected.
No.
Okay.
Kevin, you see? Look up Otto Porter, Wilt Chamberlain. Okay. Type that out. I tell you what, I'll do it while we're
My
sitting.
computer's not working for some reason. That's why I've been on my phone.
I think this one got the plug-in got disconnected underneath.
Okay.
Let me look that up. Otto Porter, Wilt Chamberlain. Now remember, Wilt Chamberlain claimed to have been with over 10,000 women, and that was like 1992.
He might have been.
Something like. Wait, correct. So the sleuths on the internet say that Otto Porter Jr. is one of Wilt's.
Looks a lot like
one of Wilt's boys.
Didn't you have one where you did like half the face of Edwards with half the face of Jordan?
Look, there's Otto Porter and Wilt Chamberlain.
Golly.
Half and half face.
See if you can find the Jordan Edwards. That's
the Jordan.
I mean, that one's side by side. There you go.
Yeah. Here you go, Tom.
Looks a little like him.
I think Jordan's younger pictures look even more like.
The nose matches. The eyes are, I think, a little different.
Might be Mama's eyes.
Mm-hmm. That one's scary. That one is scary. That one is scary.
So yeah, people on the internet. That's their
giving MJ a run for his money.
That's our fun one. Anyway, I do got to show you guys though. I did have this. This is a fun video. This is the worst free throw in NBA history, and it's by the Portland Trailblazers. And I can't tell. I'm trying to look it up who it is, but it's pretty bad. Let's see. Oh, done lost him. Have y'all ever seen a worst free? Now remember, guys, when I say worst free throw, also these are professional basketball players making $10 million a year, and we sit there. Let's argue about this, and hey, they get paid too much.
It looks like he's got his eyes shut.
Watch this. He should have. It'd have been had a better chance. What was that, Terry?
He was throwing a slider.
What is that?
He was throwing a slider. Give him a break.
But my question is, they have people on staff, and they have basketball practice, do they not? And they go to practice, and they shoot, and nobody on staff says, "Hey, boss, don't do that." He threw it one-handed, y'all. He threw it one-handed at the goal like a 7-year-old.
I'm serious. Like he tried to twist his wrist like it was a curveball or a slider.
It's close to a sky hook.
Yeah.
Terry, have you ever
a forward-facing sky hook?
This is a pro.
Look at that. He's trying to put spin on it. It's like he's playing. Oh gosh. It's like he's playing cornhole.
Have you ever, Terry, seen anybody just? That's a shot you shoot like at 3 feet away, like a little baby hook. He basically shot a baby hook. Have you ever seen someone shoot a free throw that way?
I've seen them where they missed the whole goal.
I know that, but I thought this is the NBA player one-handed.
That form was not a. Bill Cartwright's form looks more fundamental than that.
Well, yeah, Cartwright
must have been at the end of the game because of a lot of them guys you don't even know who they are.
Cartwright was like he was a good he was a better free throw shooter than LeBron, I think, actually, and that's how bad LeBron shoots free throws. I'm gonna look at number 10 real quick. That would be Moses Brown. Good job, Moses. Awful. All right, well, we got to come back. We'll wrap up today. Tom's got to leave, but we'll get Major League Baseball going. Tom, real quick, as you got to go, prediction thoughts on your Guardians this year?
Well, they started out the season 2-0. Of course, it always helps when you play Oakland for your first team.
And their fans refuse to go into the stadium.
There was 40 people at the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the thing I hate about that is Oakland is a blue collar town, kind of like Oakland is California's Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's just a blue collar place where I think people cared about their teams. You know, they lost the Raiders. They're going to lose the A's. I just hate us against Oakland, but they just made a trade for a couple of more pitchers. Cleveland's problem is hitting. You know, will they hit the ball this year? And just, you know, we'll see. You know, they I think it was Straw. They just optioned to AAA. I was reading about that because he didn't live up to his billing. But I'm just telling you, if you look at the cost, hitters cost money, and if you don't have money, you can't get them. I mean, it's just what it is.
If they're not coming to the farm system.
Yeah, and I was listening on the boss yesterday. The Braves did the Braves come back and beat the Phillies?
Oh yeah, handily.
They did.
Handily. Oh yeah.
They were down 2-0.
Oh, they went up like 9-2.
Did they really?
Oh man,
because I couldn't believe. I said, what about
9-3 was fine.
9-3
I was like,
final.
what about these Braves bats are not hitting the ball?
Yeah, give it a minute.
Because it was like bottom 5, 2-0. I'm like, but you know what they said? The sun was in the eyes of the batters because of the way the stadium's designed. I guess when the sun went down, the Braves could see the ball and they started.
Philadelphia helped them out. Philadelphia walked 4 straight, so walked in a run, and then Matt Olson hit a bases clearing double.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering about that game, but I just wanted to say that too. That just want to remind our listeners that if you're ever in the car and you want something, you get tired of this crappy modern music, just throw on the Boss. There's probably a Braves game, Hornets game. We got NCAA basketball coverage, high school sports. So just flip your dial to 101.5 if you're in Cleveland County, 92.9 if you're in Gaston County, and listen to some Braves baseball and other stuff. So it's my PSA before I go, Kevin.
All right, Tom, I got one more thing for you to say. It's just a baseball thing. This guy met this fellow on the bus in Tokyo. Said, how about them Orioles? And the guy responded in a German accent, oh, I see. It's because of the hat. I just like the duck. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
All right, Kevin, thanks for the
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville.
On the Go Quick Lube in Boston is not just oil changes. They have tires for all cars with names like GT Radio, Hankook, and Toyo, plus interstate batteries and wiper blades. Of course, they do oil changes featuring Castrol, Motorcraft, and Rotella diesel oil, and they carry diesel truck fuel filters. Plus, they're an official North Carolina inspection station. For quick service with competitive pricing and professional technicians, head over to On The Go Quick Lube today. 3716 Falston Road, Highway 18 north of Shelby, and go Burns Bulldogs.
And we're back with Saturday More Sports Talk. Kevin, the gang.
That's all you got for me this
Dynamite
week?
intro there, JP.
What I got for you.
I don't want you to pull a muscle. I did miss one basketball note. Caitlin Clark. Did y'all see this?
I did.
Has been offered $5 million from Ice Cube to play in the Big Three, and he will allow her to play. The contract will allow her to play in the WNBA and pretty much anywhere else she wants to play. But 10 games, $5 million, playing the Big Three.
Playing 3-on-3.
Should she take it, Terry? I don't think she should. She'll get embarrassed. Was she not?
I don't know.
Was she not? You think them grown men's gonna let her score?
No, they're not.
In a 3-on-3 game?
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
She might get open and hit a shot, but I'm saying 3-on-3 is pretty much park ball. Correct? Like,
and all they're going to do then is switch. They're not going to. And you might go from a small guy guarding you. They can guard you straight on to a big guy who's going to block your shot if you try to take a three. So,
I don't think people realize how tall people are. Like, that's probably one of the hardest things, Terry. Like, say, well, I can shoot as good as this guy who's 6'5", but I can't shoot over the guy guarding.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. That's the biggest thing is that those goes like when Victor Wembanyama blocks a 3-point
Think of the
shooter
wingspan
from the paint.
Yeah.
Later, why don't you just shoot over him? Well, if I pull it, he's gonna drill it back in my face. Here's some of the people on the roster. It looks like on the Big Three: Joe Johnson, Lisa Leslie.
He's been playing a while now.
Nancy Lieberman,
Gerald Green. This can't be an updated one.
That's got. Those are coaches. Some of those got to be coaches, right?
Let's see if I find the big. No, I'm on what am I? Big Three league. There we
Teams. There we go.
We'll look in the big three and check out some of these rosters. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be good for her money and good for the league or promotion, but I
think you plug her in as a 1, because again, she's not
Rashard Lewis. I don't really know some of these other guys, but 6'4". She's what, 6'2", 6'1"?
6'2".
So we got 6'10", 6'6", 6'8", 6'4", 6'9".
Mm-hmm.
And I don't only know 3 of them, and I would take them over
Mario
Chalmers,
Michael
Beasley, Hollis Thompson, Tony Allen. Terry, she gonna score on Tony Allen?
Mario Chalmers, he played for Miami Heat.
Tony Allen. Let's see. Must be the foreign team.
International team right there. Rick Mahorn's the head coach.
I can't even read their names. Yeah. There's no way Rick Mahorn's calling them by their whole name.
Leandro Barbosa.
Barbosa is playing.
That's Rick Barry
coaching that team.
He could play. Or
Captain Barbosa.
That's not it. Gerald Green.
Wrong one. JP.
Gerald Green, Corey Brewer, Ryan Hollins. Gary Payton's team. He's coaching. So just Terry, just in general, yeah. I mean, good or bad idea for her.
You'd have to plug her at the 1. And she's got great court vision. They talk about her ability, her passing ability, but she would need help to get some open looks.
Terry, should she play?
I would tell her no, but I mean, sometimes money talks, man.
$5 million, $5 million. All right, baseball. We'll get into it. This is for Chip. He's Yankees fans. According to lore, Mickey Mantle hit the longest home run in baseball history in Griffith Stadium. Right now, home plate lies inside of a hospital in the hallway of Howard University Hospital. They still have home plate marked in the hallway. So there you go. If you want to see where Mickey Mantle hit the farthest home run, you got to check in.
I'll have to tell my dad that.
You got to check in the kidney unit.
Get your dialysis.
Howard University.
I do love the adjacent to the old Turner Field that they had the outline of the old Fulton County Stadium, and they had the spot where Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run. I thought that was pretty sweet.
If you do go down to Atlanta, they've got the home plate. The field's actually marked in the parking lot.
Yes,
you just park over it, but they do have the spot, and they saved the fence part where it went over and have it there. So yeah, Chip, you're correct. That's pretty cool. But let's see. This is going to be kind of a jumping around type stuff. Let's see if what Terry. I'm gonna play this real quick.
No,
this is Mark Jackson being asked who he wants to take the last shot in a basketball game.
That's what I'm saying. Not a spot up 3. You just need a bucket at the end of the game.
Oh well, no. That's the question.
Yeah,
I misunderstood.
Yeah,
If that's the
you
question,
just need a bucket.
I'm taking Mike or Kobe.
You missing somebody.
Now you fought me to give an answer.
You
I give an answer
because I know what your answer's gonna be, and you missing somebody that's clearly in that discussion.
Who?
The man from Akron. What do you mean?
I'm gonna play this sound over.
What do you from Akron? Akron.
That makes me laugh. That little giggle when they say that.
What do you mean?
I love him. He's in the GOAT discussion. He's had an incredible career, and he is absolutely 100% great. I've witnessed it. But if you ask me one shot for all the marbles, I'm taking the guys that I said.
Yes. Preach it, Mark. that whole laugh right there.
Why don't you take LeBron?
That's cute. That's cute.
Oh, God. I do Terry like that one. These people are so silly. Terry, they've outlawed tackling in the NFL. What are we going to do?
Gracious, yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know what you do no more.
I mean,
what is a tackle? What this whole hip drop tackle?
Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
As someone who played DB, and there are bigger players than you on the field, the only thing you can do is go at the legs and wrap up. If I go any higher than the waist, I'm dead man. What am I supposed to do? I can't hit them when they got to put their hands up and catch the ball.
Scores are going to explode next year.
Well, see that's the thing that they're pissed that the scores have actually went down after years of preaching how much everything's getting better, bigger, faster, stronger, and the defense in the NFL. grown man defenders in the NFL are different animals than anything else. And once you get there, and then they do this, I don't know what to do, Terry. What do you do?
The kickoffs are different now.
I mean,
it's not football.
Somebody made the comment this week that pretty soon you just go ahead and get the flags out. Go ahead and strike. I mean,
that's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
At the start, it's going to be a lot of them.
A running back can't lower his head. A DB can't tackle you by the legs. I don't know what else you're supposed to tackle people by. The kickers can't.
I mean, what's next? The quarterback can't advance his arm forward. I mean,
I don't know. Like I just don't understand this one. I understand they don't want people getting hurt.
Yeah,
they're going to keep on.
Don't get caught from behind.
You remember before when they used to come out and said Major League Baseball the greatest thing of all time? Everybody loves Major League Baseball.
And now we got ghost
And
runners.
then it went to the NFL, but them taking over because of them letting them play. Now you're doing this. It's going to switch right back. Major League Baseball is going to get it all back on account of things that we're doing to mess up the NFL.
I understand I agree with you, Kevin. I understand the moves that have been made, especially in the past decade, to counteract like the CTE that was starting to be revealed on a lot of the football players. I understand that. This is a one step too far.
The CTE thing to me, real quick, is,
and I don't know if that's the point you were trying to make, but
the thing on the CTE, the head injury stuff. To me, I compare it to boxers. You're 21 years old. It's a physical sport.
Yep.
You're going to play. We're grown men. If you sign up for it, you get hurt. Whatever the injury is, that's what you signed up for. Under 21, I have a problem with young people playing football. I just do. Because you're not playing for money. You're not fully developed. You're not fully grown. And it does cause those problems that you say. And 99.9% of those kids aren't going to the NFL. So that's the issue, whether is it a dangerous sport or not. But as an adult, I see it as you're a boxer, you're a football player. Play hard. Hit each other. I want to see the hit. Everybody wants to see the hits. And to me, Terry, I don't know about you, but I'm not seeing – what's crazy is the defense, like we said, is shutting them down, but they're doing it, and they can't even tackle and do half the things they used to do it.
It's no different than if you was a bull rider, man. I mean, you taking a shot, getting on the back of that thing, and knowing he could throw you off and then kick you.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the danger you put yourself into.
Then pick up by his horns, do whatever. Like, it's just weird to me that people complain about getting hurt in something they volunteered to do.
And I do. We
might drown in the pool.
It's different, though, I think, when you start talking about cognitive issues, though.
Right. That's why I don't want the younger people.
Well, but even still, as an adult, and I think the NFL made that move. We have just, in a decade so far, probably when the guy that Will Smith portrayed really, I think it was maybe about 10 years ago that he did the autopsy on Mike Webster, and this really started to come to the forefront. But we've only scratched the surface. I mean, they're still less than 100 players that I think that they've been able to research their brains post-mortem to determine CTE. We've only scratched the surface of this. And I think as this continues to unfold, unravel, and they get more information about it, the NFL had to respond, because they're going to start seeing people willing to sign up plummet if they didn't try to protect them cognitively.
So here's the thing. The NFL doesn't going the concussion movie, the NFL actually doesn't sign off, approve, specify that any helmet is safe, and they do not specify any helmet will keep you from getting concussions. What they do is recommend the 4 best.
They do.
That is all it is. Yeah. When they say this, all they're recommending is these 4 are better than the rest of them. That's all they're doing. And so there is no so in boxing, are you going to say, well, I don't want Mike to get hurt by this guy. I know it's an exhibition, but like with Terry and when you're talking about with bullfighting, you sign up. You know what you're signing up for. All right, Redskins news. The Washington Commanders are being sued by, listen to this, the Native American Guardians Association, which has been trying to get the Commanders to change the name back to the Redskins. The lawsuit states the logo of the Redskins helmet is an actual person. It's Chief Whitecalf. Every time they go out on that field, they were honoring Chief Whitecalf, and they were battling on the field with the same honor and integrity and courage. They should continue to do that. That is the official statement from the Native American Guardians Association, who want the Redskins name back. So for all, when we talked about this for years, Terry, this is what we thought about it. This was our point. Is the people complaining about this nickname and this team are people that aren't even offended.
That's
that
exactly
aren't Native
right.
Americans that aren't offended by it. It's people that have nothing to do with it. And again, we've talked about this guy right here. This was an illustration drawn by the Blackfeet Indian tribe of their chief. Chief, what was it? White Calf. White Calf. So that's Chief White Calf, and that was drawn by one of their members and sent to the Redskins for them to use it.
You've got that association, but in today's society, you've got another association that's going to battle against the exact opposite. It's just the society we're in right now.
With each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad that I sat here and I'm one of the world's worst to say Washington Redskins because to me that's what they'll always be.
Mm-hmm.
But you have new names and that's what we'll call you. But you'll never be.
I don't know if I
could
could ever say Guardians.
Or
Commanders.
Commanders.
The Commanders.
I can almost say that, but Guardians? That's just what's a weird name. Like they could. I know why they. We all know why they named it, but it's.
That's not a mascot. That's a Marvel movie.
Right,
that's a Marvel movie.
Chip, you'll like this one. This is our Goff video of the day. This bird thinks he's found a bunch of eggs he's about to eat, and he cracks his eggs on the cart paths. But when he slams the golf ball down, it don't crack, does it? Watch this bird's reaction. You go ahead and hit. It's already. I don't even know if there is any sound. Let's see.
What in the world?
He's like he bounces it off. He spooks it. He picks it up again, and he goes back. And he's gonna try it again, and he slams it. Boom! Welcome to the world of God.
I'll real quick, and I'll touch on it. I'm out for the next couple of weeks, as I'll be making my annual exodus down to Augusta. Picks on that. I'm sure y'all will talk about it next week, but best and the week after probably.
Did you call in that morning, or you?
The cell phones are not allowed on the course, so I won't.
I didn't know if you were gonna be on the or you. What time you got to?
I've got to be there like 6:30 in the morning. So yeah, no, I won't be able to call in. The rules about cell phones are legitimate. That's legit at Augusta National. But if Scotty Scheffler, if he's putting, he's playing at another world right now. So he'd be my pick. I was gonna say Victor Hovland at the beginning of the year, but I found out last week he's in the midst of a swing change, and so he is no longer my pick. If I had to pick a guy, it'd be either Scotty or Jordan Spieth. Spieth's very comfortable there. He is signed up right now. We'll see what mood he's in and see. I'm curious to see since his ankle fusion, if he's healthy, how he'll be able to get around there. He won't be able to compete. It's too hilly.
You know what's funny to me, Chip, is flipping through golf Twitter, and the pros. I don't know if I'd ever want to be a friend with a pro golfer because they're insane. Like, remember the video I showed you of Phil, and he's talking about, well, I hit this 118 to 114. And you're like, no, you don't. And then I was watching him putt, and I'm like, you're like Scheffler. Mm-hmm. You're a professional golfer. You've made it this far. Why are you changing your swing?
Yeah, Hovland
the swing changes and swing coaches. If you're good enough to make it pro, all you need to do is keep putting.
Victor Hovland played the Tour Championship last year, won the Tour Championship at the end of he was on fire. He went to that next level. He was moving up to John Rahm, Scheffler, Rory McIlroy territory last year. He made a hole-in-one in a practice round during the Ryder Cup on a par 4 last year. That's how good he was playing. And I told Lindsay at the end of the year, I was like, that's who's going to win your Masters next year. Watch, he's taken to the next level. I read this week, he's not happy with his swing. He's going under a swing change. I'm like, why? What are you doing?
It just blows
my mind.
Dude,
it's insane to me. And the last thing I'll say, quick change of subject. Congratulations to Jeremy Luther, Gardner Webb's new men's basketball coach. He came with Coach Kraft. He was Coach Kraft's associate head coach for all 11 years that Coach Kraft was head coach. I'm excited for Coach Luther. He deserves it, and well done. We're excited about the Luther era at Gardner Webb.
All golf courses, Terry.
Oh, yes.
First tee.
That's awesome.
No, you don't even know the half of it yet. Make sure that computer's on. Yep. It is. Every first tee shot at every golf course should happen like this, folks. You ready?
Oh, God.
You didn't see the bagpipes.
That's so freaking awesome. Oh, gosh.
We'll see you guys next week for the Masters. KBCBroadcasting.com.